to the final buzzer
and throws it down with two hands.
Follow the action all season long on your home for Bulldogs basketball, the Gonzaga IMG Sports Network.
KMAS Shelton is now everywhere you are. AM 1030, FM 1033, and online at KMAS.com.
Here's the latest from ABC News. I'm Joan Bennett. Christmas is just over a week away, but for folks on the East Coast, it's spring fever. ABC's chief meteorologist, Ginger Z.
This mild and warm pattern is going nowhere. Dozens of record highs broken over the weekend, from Texas up to the Great Lakes. Cleveland hit 70. New York City Central Park was 67. And that jet stream all through next week, we put it in the position it'll be around Christmas, blocking the polar air. It won't block Santa, but it certainly will be much above average.
Allergy season returned to the Midwest. The cherry blossoms were fooled in D.C. Lots of people getting hoverboards for Christmas with warnings from safety experts. ABC's Scott Goldberg.
Hoverboard is on fire.
Almost as popular as these self-balancing scooters themselves are the videos of their batteries bursting into flames.
Mom, get some water or something.
The Consumer Product Safety Commission is investigating 10 hover fires in 9 states.
And we are testing the safety of these hoverboards in our laboratory.
CPSC's Scott Wolfson says 30 people have gone to emergency rooms.
There's also the fall hazard, and that's where most of the injuries have been, and these are not insignificant injuries.
And now Amazon has stopped selling at least one popular brand of the hoverboard. Scott Goldberg, ABC News.
A big shakeup in the GOP race for president as Senator Ted Cruz surges in the polls. ABC's Tom Yamas with details.
One of those Iowa polls shows Senator Cruz with a 10-point lead. Trump, who usually loves the polls when he is winning, calling that Des Moines Register Bloomberg poll biased towards him. He's still the front runner nationally, but on the eve of the debate, the big story is Ted Cruz. His momentum has steadily been growing since that controversial CNBC debate about a month and a half ago, where he took on the media and the moderators. Tomorrow, we'll see if he takes on Trump.
President Obama will give a public update today on what the U.S. is doing to fight the Islamic State group and its supporters in the U.S. This is ABC News.
Do you freak out every time you break out? Try Proactive. There's a huge reason Proactive is the #1 acne treatment. It totally works. For just $19.95, you'll get Proactive and a rotating deep cleansing brush. A $45 value, yours free. For only $19.95, you're guaranteed to get clear and stay clear or your money back. Here's the number, 1-800-644-5944. Call now for a lifetime of beautiful skin. 1-800-644-5944.
Cricket Wireless is here to make your holidays even brighter. Ready, flip the switch! Get a $100 bill credit when you switch to the Merrier carrier before January 7th. Plus, get the Samsung Galaxy Grand Prime for $29.99. Whoa! Santa's definitely gonna know where your house is this year. Cricket Wireless, something to smile about.
Offers N1716. Offers require not reported and activation on qualified plan and same transaction. First month service charge due with sale. Bill credit requires 2 service payments within 45 days. Credit received within 60 days. Device purchase not required to receive credit. Basic phones excluded. Fees, other charges, and restrictions apply. See store for offer details.
Holiday fur buying, guilt-free? ABC's Dave Schreiber explains.
The company called Petite Mort Furs uses fur from roadkill to make neck muffs, leg warmers, hats, and purses. Pamela Paquin, the owner of the Boston area company, explains.
I pick up animals that have died on the roads and I harvest the fur so that there's an opportunity and an option for people who want to wear fur, that it can be an accidental fur.
Paquin says she's doing away with guilt over fur.
You can have it now without ever feeling guilty. Champagne all night and no hangover.
Dave Schreiber, ABC News.
Get out your calendars. Adele will return to North America for her first tour in 5 years. The North American tour dates begin on July 5th in St. Paul, Minnesota, run through November 15th in Mexico City. The tour will have multiple shows in most markets, including 6 nights at Staples Center in Los Angeles and 6 nights at New York's Madison Square Garden. Joan Bennett, ABC News.
Local news is brought to you by Fred Holmes Tree Service. FredHolmesTreeService.com, 427-4489.
You're listening to KMAS News Radio. I'm Marilyn Foster. Shelton School District Superintendent Dr. Alex Apostle stopped by Daybreak with a reminder about next month's Graduation Matters ceremony.
Our Graduation Matters Shelton launch is January 14th from 5:30 to 6:25 p.m. at the Civic Center. It should be a lot of fun. We're inviting a lot of people, and I'm hoping the parents and students and staff make themselves available to attend because it's going to be a great night.
Dr. Apostle also shared the agenda for the next open forum, which is this evening.
It's an open agenda, and I would encourage the community to attend and ask any questions or make comments that they feel need to be made.
Anything about the school district?
Anything. Yeah, it's an open agenda, and we try to do that as often as possible. We're combining November and December for the open forum this time around, but after the first of the year, we'll be having one every single month.
The forum tonight is from 7 to 8 p.m. at Mountain View Elementary. The Washington Public Utility Districts Association presented its annual awards, recognizing the outstanding dedicated service and commitment of individuals serving PUD-3s at the organization's annual conference. 2 servicemen from Mason PUD number 3 were presented the Good Samaritan Award, recognizing their action in response to an injured motorist on August 5th. The 2 servicemen were returning from a project when they noticed the scene of a traffic accident outside Shelton. The accident victim had been honking her horn, hoping passing motorists would stop and help. The PUD employees pulled over, called 911, and stayed by the accident victim's side until the ambulance arrived. The Mason PUD 3 Good Samaritans are Mel Ferrier and Kevin Phillips. The Port of Allen will begin construction of a second wedding and event pavilion next month at its underused kayak park on Highway 3, just south of its Allen Waterfront Park. The gazebo at Waterfront Park is an extremely popular venue for weddings and other events, and has been booked solid both days of every weekend beginning in May through early October for the past several years. Future plans call for constructing a covered shelter to accommodate small receptions as well as other events. The stage for the final GOP debate of 2015 has been set for tomorrow night. The first and primetime debates hosted by CNN will air live on KMAS. The first debate will have 4 candidates: Mike Huckabee, Rick Santorum, Lindsey Graham, and George Pataki. The primetime debate, set for 3 p.m., features the other 9 candidates, including GOP frontrunners Donald Trump, Ted Cruz, Marco Rubio, and Ben Carson. Listen to our live broadcast on air or online. We'll also be airing the Democratic debate that's set for Saturday, December 19th. I'm Marilyn Foster, your local news at AM 1030 and FM 103.3, and always on KMAS.com.
This is Hugh Hewitt. The next CNN Republican debate is coming up. I'll be on the panel along with moderator Wolf Blitzer, CNN's Dana Bash, as the GOP candidates square off in a make or break evening for several of them. You'll hear exclusive live Salem Radio Network coverage of the Republican debate in Las Vegas right here on this station.
Live coverage of the next GOP presidential debate Tuesday at 2 on AM 1030, FM 103.3, and online at KMAS.com.
Here's a way for you to green up that heating bill of yours. That is, save energy and save greenbacks. Go to archmechanical.com, learn about heat pumps and zone heating. We're talking about heating and cooling equipment and systems designed to heat or cool your home. Listen, if you don't use all the rooms in your home, why heat or cool them? Check out archmechanical.com and learn more. And green up, archmechanical.com.
One NFL star returns and another may be done for the year. Hello, everyone. Dave Packer reporting on sports. Big night for the New England Patriots Sunday featured the return of tight end Rob Gronkowski and a dominating 27-6 victory. Gronk, who had missed the previous 2 games with a knee injury, made his presence felt.
Brady under center from the 1. Taps the center Stewart. Brady takes the snap. Short drop. A lob. A fade for Gronkowski. Left side. He comes down with it. Touchdown, Patriots.
Bob Sochi on the call for WBZ 98.5. Gronkowski had 4 catches for 87 yards and that touchdown Sunday. With the win, the 11-2 Patriots clinched a playoff berth. Johnny Manziel led the Cleveland Browns to a victory in his return to the starting quarterback role. The Jacksonville Jaguars crushed the Indianapolis Colts 51-16. Carolina continued their undefeated season with a 38-0 shutout of the Atlanta Falcons. And the Green Bay Packers beat the Dallas Cowboys 28-7. Another playoff-bound team didn't have quite the same luck. The Cincinnati Bengals may have lost quarterback Andy Dalton for the season. ESPN reports Dalton's fractured thumb could keep him out at least until the playoffs. Second-year QB A.J. McCarron took over for him. Afterward, McCarron vowed to work hard to lead the Bengals in Dalton's absence.
I will work my tail off this week. Finally, being able to get some reps and being able to run the offense all week. And, I will do whatever I need to do to not let them down.
In NBA action Sunday, Miami held off the Memphis Grizzlies 98-97. The Oklahoma City Thunder and Phoenix Suns both won Sunday, while the Philadelphia 76ers lost again in Toronto to fall to 1-24. On the ice, Patrick Kane registered a point for the 26th consecutive game. His Chicago Blackhawks won 4-0. The New York Islanders won by the same score, while the Colorado Avalanche defeated the St. Louis Blues 3-1. Dave Packer, ABC Sports.
For News Radio 1030 KMAS Shelton, FM 103.3, and audio and video on this very fine Monday morning, KMAS.com. I'm Dale Hubbard, 10 minutes past 6 o'clock on what day is today? The 9th?
14th.
14th. I don't know anymore.
9th, I wish.
I wish to.
What day is it?
14th. So we're 10 days away from Christmas Eve. That's scary.
Yeah, we are.
I got to start thinking about shopping soon.
We're done. We finished yesterday.
All right, and the Seahawks roll.
They're good.
They are good. But it came at a cost. Unfortunately, Seattle rookie running back Thomas Rawls fractured his left ankle. He will be out for the rest of this season.
Oh.
Such a shame.
I saw him walk off the field.
Yeah, he's tough. He's a tough kid.
Not me. I'd be crying.
He fractured his ankle. It's official. They hope no surgery is needed. The torn ligaments are more of a concern than the fracture, apparently.
Okay.
I don't know how that works exactly, but it seems like when you fracture your ankle, you want to just curl up in the fetal position and cry.
Yeah, yeah.
But, not when you're a football player.
Jiminy Christmas.
So what a spectacular season, cut short, and is so unfortunate. He had 8 carries for 44 yards already in the opening quarter of the game. He was well on his way to a 100-yard rushing game again yesterday. And as it turns out, the team did manage to run for over 100 yards, and they have established tied a record, NFL record, for consecutive games of rushing over 100 yards. It's like 23 games in a row now.
Wow.
It's pretty incredible.
That is incredible.
Yeah. So, but the good news, Seattle did roll 35-6 over a decimated Baltimore Raven team. 4th straight win. Wilson, 23 for 32, 292, and 5 touchdown throws again. 16 touchdown passes over the last 4 games, playing at a level unprecedented in his young career. He is setting NFL records every time he goes out there, and he's knocking off legendary quarterbacks with the things that he's doing. Russell Wilson is something special, and the Seahawks looked pretty special themselves yesterday. Defense was looking good, and my gosh, they pretty much shut out Baltimore. 2 field goals is all they gave up, and no touchdowns. 2 games in a row, no touchdowns. Wow, pretty good. Now, Jimmy Clausen replaced Matt Schaub as the starting quarterback for Seattle. I thought they had Clausen hurt there in about the third quarter, late in the third quarter, and he was a little slow getting up. And I was wondering who would be the quarterback if he goes down. A fellow by the name of Bryn Renner. For you Baltimore fans out there, in case you're wondering. Just in case you were wondering. All right. Other sports notes here for you this morning. We have Monday Night Football tonight. The New York Giants at the Miami Dolphins. Important game for the Giants. as they're trying to keep their playoff hopes alive. I guess Miami still, on paper, has playoff aspirations as well. Still 4 games left for them, 3 games left for everybody else. Wednesday on KMAS.com, another live video coverage of Shelton basketball, some of the boys and Mount Tahoma. Live stream begins just before 7, and you can find the video on KMAS.com or on our Facebook page as well. And then another video coverage of girls basketball for you coming up this Friday night against CK Central Kitsap. We'll have that one for you as well. Well, 80 shots combined between 2 teams, but the Ole Town Artesians lose one to the Snohomish Skyhawks. Low-scoring affair, 80 shots, but only a 4-2 score total.
I mean, that sounds like a lot of shots.
Western Indoor Soccer League.
The whistle.
And you can score from anywhere. And so they were trying to. They're shooting everywhere. Now you can see the Ole Town Artesians, their first home game of the season against the Tacoma Stars Reserves, this coming Saturday night at the Pavilion at Evergreen State College. 6 p.m. the game starts, and our own Jeff Slakey, the public address announcer for the Artesians.
Oh, what fun. I can't wait.
All right, that's sports. Jeff's got the weather forecast. Pretty good weekend.
Yeah, not bad. And another couple days here looking pretty good. Today, 43, partly sunny skies, no real rain tomorrow either. Wednesday, we'll likely see the rain start to pick up. 3/4 of an inch on Wednesday, inch on Thursday. Whoa, next week could see some snow.
That's enough of that.
Whoa.
It's Daybreak with Jeff and Dale on KMAS News Radio. Join the guys as they talk with neighbors, newsmakers, and each other, getting your day off to the absolute best possible start in the history of mornings. Connect with Jeff and Dale through the KMAS listener line, by email, or Facebook. Now, from where I-5 takes a sharp left toward Portland, Daybreak with Jeff and Dale.
All right, good morning to you. It is a Monday here, KMAS 616. And good morning. How you doing?
I'm doing okay, all things considered, which is a public radio program.
Hey, now. I'll say happy birthday to my beautiful bride, Stephanie. She could be listening. She could be on her way to work right now.
All right. Happy birthday, Steph.
Probably going to go out to dinner tonight somewhere.
That's good.
Grandma's coming over.
That's good.
So we'll go see.
Going to take care of the Kais.
Going to take care of Kaiser Ringo. And next thing you know, we'll head out to dinner. And what fun.
You hope. So now what kind of fare does she like? If you take her out to dinner, you just got to be on where she would want to go.
Right. And I've asked her, and she doesn't know where she wants to go. And we've eaten at most places around town.
Right. No particular favorite jumps out, like the default restaurant that, we know we're going to get a good meal.
Well, there's a default restaurant,
like the Corral or something.
Yeah, Golden Corral. No, we're not going to head to the Golden Corral.
Shows you what kind of taste I have. So,
speaking of, 2 new Sonic drive-ins coming to Olympia.
Really?
2 Sonics are coming to Olympia.
Is there one yet?
No.
Okay.
This will be the first one.
This is how you Sonic.
Drive-in. It's a drive-in, right?
Yeah.
On skates.
Yes.
Like Burgermaster.
Used to be. Is there still Burgermaster in Kirkland?
Centralia is the only one I know of.
Okay.
The guy who owns that one owns a bunch of up and down I-5.
Yeah.
He drives a Tesla. One of the first charging stations
is at the Burgermaster.
Was at this Burgermaster in Centralia, just to accommodate.
I know one person that owns a Tesla, and he's used that.
They've got a bank of them now. Oh
yeah, they're all within 200 miles of each other. Did you know that? Tesla's a smart company. They got this figured out.
Yeah.
So every 200 miles, there's a charging station. Then you get a map with charging stations on your dash. There you go.
I was driving to Seattle on Saturday, and it was awful. It was rain and traffic.
Tell the sports fans out there, Jeff, how long it took you to get home.
Well, it took me 2.5 to get there.
2.5 to get to your destination.
Once we hit South Center, we were going about 10.
There you go.
And on the way home, it was quick. quicker, normal time, hour and a half or whatever.
Yeah.
But just sheets of rain and wind. I was so nervous. Oh, my goodness. Anyways, there was a Tesla as we were stuck in traffic. And almost to the point where I would roll down the window and talk with the person. That's
how slow it was.
Because I was wondering if they ever get nervous. Stuck in Seattle traffic.
Oh, if their charge goes away?
They're in the middle of I-5, like the middle lane of I-5.
Yeah.
And it's bumper to bumper.
Right.
If they're ever worried that they're 30 miles away from either their home or a charge station and they go, boy, I don't have enough charge to even get out of this traffic.
That's a good question. I don't know that
or does it?
I don't think it draws. I don't think it draws unless you're accelerating. So it can just sit there like maybe forever, and it maybe a mile or two difference in their distance that they can travel with these things.
That's my only
drawback.
That would be my only one. I mean, living around here would be fine. There's no traffic, but once you get up north, that would be my biggest concern. I guess it's the same for gas, though.
Yeah, well, exactly.
I guess I probably should have filled up before.
Yeah.
You're listening to Daybreak with Jeff and Dale on KMAS News Radio.
I'm Chris Rose with NFL Network Now and the Westwood One Radio Network. The injury bug bit several teams in Week 14, including the Cincinnati Bengals, who lost a big divisional game against the Pittsburgh Steelers, and lost Andy Dalton with a fracture in his hand. Dalton will be out at least 1 week, but he's not necessarily done for the season, according to his head coach, Marvin Lewis. For the 7th straight year, the New England Patriots are postseason bound. Rob Gronkowski returned, had 4 catches for 87 yards and a score as the Pats won in Houston 27-6. In the meantime, the NFC East is totally up for grabs. Washington remained in control of the division after a 24-21 win in the Windy City. And it was a sad homecoming for LaShawn Shady McCoy in Philadelphia. He had 74 yards rushing, but was held out of the end zone, and the Bills fell to Chip Kelly's Eagles 23-20. This has been NFL Network Now on the Westwood One Radio Network.
Check into cash. The cash you need today is waiting for you at checkIntoCash.com. We make it quick and easy to get the money you need when you need it. Visit checkIntoCash.com today to apply for an online payday advance up to $700. It only takes 5 minutes to apply, and you can get extra cash in as little as 24 hours. Go to checkIntoCash.com to get started.
You don't have to be a retail giant or government agency to be the victim of a costly data breach. If you run a website and collect customer data, your small to mid-sized business is just as likely to be targeted by hackers. The Barracuda Web Application Firewall provides cost-effective instant security against automated and targeted attacks, making this WAF a must-have for your SMB. Reclaim your network. Try a Barracuda Web App Firewall risk-free at barracuda.com/WAF.
Greetings of the season from the folks at Columbia Bank. They wish you the joys of Christmas and prosperity throughout the new year. Best wishes from Columbia Bank.
At this special time of the year, a special message from your friends at Bone In & Cook. May the miracle of Christmas bring thoughts of joy and peace. Happy holidays and best wishes for the new year from Bone In & Cook.
iFiber Communications, the fastest internet provider in Washington State, has just opened their doors here in Mason County and got their first local customers signed up. James, tell me about your experience.
From the first time I learned of iFiber to the day I got hooked up, even now, I felt that my fiber connection and the service given to me have been the #1 most important job to every member of the iFiber team. And not just because I was first in line with my nose pressed up to the glass waiting for a company to take my money.
What differences have you noticed?
I get what I pay for. With non-fiber solutions, you're paying up to the top and never get a constant number anywhere near that top. With fiber, you certainly do. With iFiber, you get it at a competitive and affordable price.
Why should others sign up for iFiber Internet?
Well, iFiber has made a commitment to Mason County. They're working hard to bring fast speeds to everyone at an affordable price. And now with phones and television, your bill will be all in one place with no hidden fees or sudden price changes to surprise you month to month like other all-in-one service providers.
Get signed up for iFiber Communications today by calling 360-427-4000 or visit iFiber.tv for more information.
Habitat for Humanity of Mason County wants to thank their generous donors for their contributions this year and want to remind you there's more work to be done in 2016. Habitat for Humanity of Mason County will be sending out letters requesting financial support from you. Be watching for those letters to arrive in the mail and consider donating your dollars to help Habitat for Humanity's mission of providing affordable housing and home rehabilitation to those in need. Wishing you and your family the happiest of holidays. Habitat for Humanity of Mason County.
Good morning, this is Under Sheriff Jim Barrett, and you're listening to Daybreak with Jeff and Dale on KMAS.
All right, good morning to you. It's Daybreak here at KMAS News Radio. Jeff and Dale, good morning. We appreciate you tuning in and watching or listening online at KMAS.com. Friday night, Dale. We had a lot of fun.
What did we do?
We were at the Mini Dome. Wasn't that Friday night?
No, it was a lot of fun.
That was Friday, right?
Huh?
That was Friday.
That was Friday, and I was particularly enamored to see the old coach show up at the game. The old gym rat, Tim Parker, and doesn't mean much to folks around here, but he is a coach of legendary proportions in King County and South King County and that region, having coached the Foster High School girls basketball program for many, many years. Retired about 10 years ago. And there he is walking into the gym.
For sure.
And gave us a little diversion for our pregame activities and had some very good professional insight into what was going on during the course of the game.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun. It was fun to hear from him, see him, and you can check out the video also Friday night during the halftime show. The junior cheer squad put on a performance.
Oh, God, they were fun to watch.
So we put that link on there as well. And if parents, you were part of that, we've got it on KMAS.com under the sports tab. Also, I sent the note out to Mark Ziegler from Shelton Parks and Rec to try to get in contact with all the parents that were involved with that. News around the Northwest?
Oh, there is some. The authorities now say a fire that sent flames 70 feet into the air was caused when a tractor-trailer rig hauling fuel crashed into railroad tanker cars filled with liquid asphalt, thank goodness, or we'd still be seeing and hearing explosions probably. Police say the truck driver died. Authorities continued to investigate the cause of the crash. This was yesterday. Firefighters say the fire burned 8 train cars. None leaked the liquid asphalt they contained. I think liquid asphalt, too, is flammable, certainly. Some petroleum-based right?
Yeah.
So anyway, but my goodness gracious, I mean, 2 of the worst kinds of collisions there, the tractor-trailer hauling fuel and then tanker trains hauling liquid asphalt. Hoy, that was spectacular. If it was nothing, down near Oregon is where, now down near Portland is where that happened yesterday.
Seattle may soon be the first city to let drivers of ride-hailing companies such as Uber and Lyft collectively bargain over pay, working conditions, and more. A move opposed by the companies and one seen as a test case for the changing 21st century workforce. The city council is set to vote today on whether to extend collective bargaining rights for drivers of taxis, for-hire transportation companies, and app-based ride-hailing services that are part of the growing on-demand economy. They got commercials for this all over the place now. Drive for Uber. You seen those on TV?
I haven't seen those.
You haven't?
Yet. No.
Oh, I see them all the time. Weird.
I know a lot of people that use Uber a lot now, though. I'm not familiar with Lyft, LYFT, but same thing, right? Same concept.
Mm-hmm.
And I know that Uber has now gotten a spot at the airport.
Really?
Yeah. Much to the chagrin of the taxi.
Boy, that's got to be a huge coup.
So,
why wouldn't they just wait in the lot, wait in the cell phone parking lot?
I don't know the answer to that. But they're getting to be able to park
where the taxis park.
Yeah.
Oof.
So watch that closely and see.
Interesting.
A growing trend, a different way of transportation. It has struck a positive and a hearty nerve with commuters and travelers. Jerry's son, exclusively public transportation kind of a guy, lives in the Portland area and has now gone to Uber because, a little bit nervous about some of the characters you see on the train sometimes.
Every so often, I would buy that.
So it's just more convenient.
Well, plus it's direct.
It's easy. Yeah.
Yeah. So not a bad deal. Conservation groups, 5 of them, planning to sue the National Marine Fisheries Service. Now, they say the federal agency failed to complete a recovery plan for imperiled Puget Sound steelhead. Wild Fish Conservancy and others say the agency has not completed the plan despite listing the fish as federally threatened in 2007. A NOAA spokesman said last week the agency is reviewing the notice.
6:29 here at KMAS. Mary Lynn Foster has the latest news in just a couple of seconds. Later this morning, we'll live the country life. Brian LaFlame from the LaFlame Group will be on in the 8 o'clock hour, and Lynn Longan as well at just after 8:30. So we'll check in on how that regional gathering was down at the Great Wolf Lodge last week and see what else is going on with the EDC of Mason County. That's all coming up here on KMAS 6:30, and good morning.
News time with Mary Lynn Foster.
You're listening to Daybreak with Jeff and Dale on KMAS News Radio.
Local news is brought to you by Shelton Health and Rehabilitation Center. Find them online at sheltonhealthandrehab.com.
You're listening to KMAS News Radio. I'm Mary Lynn Foster. Shelton School District Superintendent Dr. Alex Apostle stopped by Daybreak with a reminder about next month's Graduation Matters ceremony.
Our Graduation Matters Shelton launch is January 14th from 5:30 to 6:25 p.m. at the Civic Center. It should be a lot of fun. We're inviting a lot of people, and I'm hoping the parents and students and staff make themselves available to attend because it's going to be a great night.
Dr. Apostle also shared the agenda for the next open forum, which is this evening.
It's an open agenda, and I would encourage the community to attend and ask any questions or make comments that they feel need to be made.
Anything about the school district?
Anything. Yeah, it's an open agenda, and we try to do that as often as possible. We're combining November and December for the open forum this time around, but after the first of the year, we'll be having one every single month.
The forum tonight is from 7 to 8 p.m. at Mountain View Elementary. The Washington Public Utility Districts Association presented its annual awards, recognizing the outstanding dedicated service and commitment of individuals serving PUD-3s at the organization's annual conference. 2 servicemen from Mason PUD number 3 were presented the Good Samaritan Award, recognizing their action in response to an injured motorist on August 5th. The 2 servicemen were returning from a project when they noticed the scene of a traffic accident outside Shelton. The accident victim had been honking her horn, hoping passing motorists would stop and help. The PUD employees pulled over, called 911, and stayed by the accident victim's side until the ambulance arrived. The Mason PUD 3 Good Samaritans are Mel Ferrier and Kevin Phillips. The Port of Allen will begin construction of a second wedding and event pavilion next month at its underused kayak park on Highway 3, just south of its Allen Waterfront Park. The gazebo at Waterfront Park is an extremely popular venue for weddings and other events, and has been booked solid both days of every weekend beginning in May through early October for the past several years. Future plans call for constructing a covered shelter to accommodate small receptions as well as other events. The stage for the final GOP debate of 2015 has been set for tomorrow night. The first and primetime debates hosted by CNN will air live on KMAS. The first debate will have 4 candidates: Mike Huckabee, Rick Santorum, Lindsey Graham, and George Pataki. The primetime debate, set for 3 p.m., features the other 9 candidates, including GOP frontrunners Donald Trump, Ted Cruz, Marco Rubio, and Ben Carson. Listen to our live broadcast on air or online. We'll also be airing the Democratic debate that's set for Saturday, December 19th. I'm Mary Lynn Foster, your local news at AM 1030 and FM 103.3, and always on KMAS.com.
Ascend Roofing Company in Shelton's on top of it. 868-2730. Roofing work that speaks for itself.
Hey, just a little note to say thank you for the outstanding work that you, Dennis, and especially Jorge and the crew performed for us on our roofing project. On a scale of 1 to 10, we rate it at 10.5. It was a fantastic feeling from start to finish. Your company is a first-class operation and will definitely give your name to all of our friends and family if they're in need of your services.
You could be the next happy customer by calling Ascend Roofing. 868-2730.
If you could wave a wand and change one thing about your house, what would it be?
Hold that thought, but forget the wand. Home improvement isn't magic.
If you're a do-it-yourselfer, we can show you the tricks of the trade for remodeling and repair.
And how to not get fooled when you're choosing and directing a contractor. Hi, I'm Tom Kreitler.
And I'm Leslie Segretti. Phone in your fix-up questions here this weekend.
On the Money Pit Home Improvement Radio Show.
Saturdays at 10, Sundays at 7 on KMAS News Radio.
For News Radio 1030 KMAS Shelton, FM 103.3, and KMAS.com, where you'll find our audio and our video this morning. Good morning. How are you? KMAS.com. 634. I'm Dale Hubbard. Russell Wilson is marching along at a historic rate right now, playing the best football of his young career. And right now, 16 touchdown passes over the last 4 games. No interceptions, by the way, and no sacks the last 3 games either. Just an incredible turnaround for the Seattle offense. But it came at a price yesterday. Unfortunately, rookie sensation Thomas Rawls fractured his ankle and tore ligaments. And I think it was his left ankle, if I'm not mistaken. And it was a pretty bad look down near the goal line, where he had already amassed 44 yards rushing in the first quarter of the game. I mean, he was on his way to another 100-yard game. There's no doubt about that. Cutting big chunks of yardage out while the opening drive was showing no signs of even slowing down yesterday. And then that happened. And that put a little pall over things if you were a Seahawk fan. But they rallied, and specifically, I think the defense elevated their game in support of the offense. We have some running backs, Jawan. Oh gosh, I lost his name. Anyway, he just came on the team last week. He's only been with the team for a week. Picked up off waivers. I did hear some talk about, we have Kristen Michael was on the team in the preseason, and he is on the practice squad for the Washington Redskins right now. My understanding is that he's on the practice squad. He's not on the roster of the Redskins, so he is. We are eligible to pull him back as a Seahawk.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he's on loan, so to speak. I mean, we're paying his freight until he lands with another team. So we can maybe get Kristen Michael back for a backup running back, because we're running a little short right now. So we'll see how this all works out. But running backs are at a premium for Seattle. Until, of course, Marshawn gets back, and nobody expects him to be healthy enough after abdominal surgery. Until maybe the last game of the year, but probably the playoffs. And that's if Seattle makes the playoffs, and they have to continue to do what they've been doing, and that's win. A nice victory over the Baltimore Ravens, 35-6 in Baltimore yesterday morning. For the record, Wilson, 23 of 32, 292. 5 touchdowns, matching a career high set earlier against Pittsburgh, and that gave him 16 over the last 4 games. Pretty amazing moment in time right now for Russell Wilson. We'll show you how he looks from a historical standpoint in just a little while. We're singing the blues about losing our rookie running back. How does Cincinnati feel? Andy Dalton.
Oh, saw the video on that one.
Broke his thumb.
Was grabbing at the guy, right?
Yeah, there was an interception or a fumble, and he was playing and he switched over to defense. From high school on, quarterbacks are taught to get the heck out of the way if there's a turnover. Don't become a defender. We can't afford to lose you. Well, Cincinnati just lost their starting quarterback.
Yes.
And probably for the season. Broken throwing hand, thumb. He effectively is gone. Really a big blow to the hopes of the Cincinnati Bengals, who haven't won a playoff game for 5 years. Really the cream of the crop, one of the surprising teams this year. And they lose to a surging Pittsburgh Steelers team, 33-20 yesterday. And I guess it'll be really tough now for them. I don't know who's backing up the Cincinnati Bengals or for Andy Dalton, but it's going to be a tall order for them to get to the big game, the big one. That's kind of the whole thing. A Heisman Trophy winner over the weekend, Jeff, was Derrick.
Oh, they did that.
Henry of Alabama.
What day? Saturday night was that, right?
Yeah, yeah. And so he beat out Deshaun Watson of Clemson and Christian McCaffrey of Stanford to get the Heisman. And that is Sports Notes this time around. Jeff, what kind of weather today?
Well, looking at the South Sound forecast, and a good morning to you. We're freezing right now. It's 32.
Is it?
We're going to see the sunrise at 7:51 this morning.
Feels like a warm 32.
It's a little, well, in here today it is. Yeah. The sunset tonight at 4:22. Looking ahead, today's actually not going to be that bad of a day. Tomorrow as well won't be too shabby. Looks like we could see some rain starting to show up starting on Wednesday and then into the next couple of days, 3/4 of an inch or so Wednesday, inch or so Thursday.
It's Daybreak with Jeff and Dale on KMAS News Radio. Join the guys as they talk with neighbors, newsmakers, and each other, getting your day off to the absolute best possible start in the history of mornings. Connect with Jeff and Dale through the KMAS listener line, by email or Facebook. Now from Shelton's Media Row, Daybreak with Jeff and Dale.
All right, good morning to you. It's Daybreak here, KMAS, KMAS.com on a Monday morning, and a good morning to you. Hope you had a wonderful weekend. Dale and I had a lot of fun Friday night doing the live video broadcast of the basketball game, the girls' basketball game. We'll be back at it this Wednesday for boys basketball.
Yes.
And Friday night for girls basketball again.
2 stops at the Mini Dome this week.
Yep. And so that'll be a lot of fun. We're going to continue to broadcast that for you. High definition, looked good, sounded good. It was our first time doing that. First time for you in 10 years doing a basketball game?
Yes.
Is that what we figured?
Yeah, something like that.
I don't think I've even really been to a high school basketball game since high school. The old Tumwater T-Birds.
Yeah. So a while for you is
it is so, even high school, it is so fast-paced for me to understand what's happening. I'm going to do my best. That's all I can do.
That's all you can do. You did good. You're cameraman.
Cameraman. I got that. I know where the ball is.
Well, you did good.
I didn't really have to do that much.
And you turned the camera over during the interview.
Uh-huh.
That was pretty awesome.
We're gonna get a little more fancy as the weeks progress.
Yes. Yeah, that's all we can. That was the first one. Boy, wait till we get to the end of the season.
We're going to be the best.
Man, we'll be like, wow, these guys should be on Saturdays on TV, national.
Okay, that's that.
Well, how are you on your Maldivian law there, Jefferson?
Oh, the Maldives. Yeah, I would say that there is a lot of tax loopholes in the Maldives.
The Maldivian law testified, an expert on Maldivian law, testified that last year's arrest of a Russian man by U.S. agents is unlawful and violated the country's constitution. Lawyers for Roman Seleznev, charged with hacking into U.S. businesses, called Hussein Shamim to describe the conditions needed for a lawful arrest. Shamim, a former prosecutor who has trained Maldivian police, said a person in the Maldives,
I think, is how they
can only be arrested under one of these circumstances: a person seen committing a crime, is seen fleeing a crime, or if you mispronounce Maldives. If police have a court warrant for the arrest. That's the only way. No other way can you arrest a person. Not like, well, how about if they broke the law and we go get him? No.
Because nobody saw it.
Yeah. You didn't see him commit the crime, so therefore there is no crime.
Huh.
He didn't run from the crime because there wasn't a crime to run from.
But didn't it happen here in the States?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
So they're just trying to start a war.
Well, that's not funny.
It's not funny, but probably more truthful than not.
6:44 here at KMAS, KMAS.com, living the country life in just a little bit. What else is in the news going on? Was that from yesterday's news?
I don't know.
There's not a bunch.
There isn't much. We're digging deep. There was the story from a week ago where they were looking for Sai Fu, 24-year-old uncle of his 14-year-old niece, and he has been charged now with the murder of his niece. This was in South Seattle, South Brandon Street, and they found Christy Fu suffering from a gunshot wound to the head. She died in a hospital. Subsequently, we find the story circled around the fact that she had some tennis shoes that he wanted.
Come on.
So he shot her. That's so sad.
We remember the 3-day visit from Chinese President Xi Jinping back in September. He was down at Lincoln High School and up in Everett and all that stuff. Remember he came to town?
Yeah.
City of Seattle spent nearly $1 million on that 3-day visit.
Yeah.
Overtime pay for the police, fire, transportation employees. Red carpet treatment was worth the costs.
Or worse than the costs.
Due to strengthened business ties between Seattle and China. I saw that, I was surprised to read this story, and it got stranger as it went on. North Korea has a all-girl band, like a boy band, but with girls, like the Spice Girls, but North Korea. Kim Jong-un, the leader over there, he created this girl band, and they were in Beijing to perform three performances, because there is a little better relationship between North Korea and China.
Cultural exchange.
Yeah, cultural. Well, anyway, something happened, and they left, and this was supposed to be a big deal. I guess they're really good, and so they got out of the country before any of the big performances. And now China and North Korea may be a little tense. They say, it's not out of the norm for something with North Korea to go haywire or to go out of normal. But this one, because it was like a musical act, was a little different. So we'll follow that story as well.
We sure will.
I don't remember the name.
Upheaval and unrest around the globe.
There really is. All right, good morning to you. We'll take a quick break here. It's 6:45, 32 out there right now. It's Daybreak with Jeff and Dale.
You're listening to Daybreak with Jeff and Dale on KMAS News Radio.
The slow food movement is all about eating local. Hi, I'm Jody Henke. The slow money movement matches locally produced food and products with fresh capital investment as you're living the country life.
Living the country life. Ideas and inspiration for your place in the country. You can find more information on today's topic and from previous shows by visiting us online at livingthecountrylife.com. We'll return to the show after these messages.
We are diligent. We are hardworking people. We are Kubota. With Kubota Standard L Series compact tractors, we take on the tough tasks with confidence. From acreage maintenance to commercial landscaping to work on the farm, Kubota Standard L Series tractors provide more power, cleaner emissions, and smooth operation, all at an affordable price. Get low-rate long-term financing today during the Power to Do Great Things sales event. Here for the hardworking. We are Kubota.
Need new ideas for what to do around your place? Register for a free Living the Country Life newsletter. Once a week, you'll receive helpful tips on key topics such as landscaping, animals and poultry, outdoor improvement projects, recreational activities, and much more. The newsletter delivers the latest trends, alerts you to informational courses, shares what other people are doing on their properties, and provides details about exciting sweepstakes and other contests. Sign up for your free newsletter today by visiting livingthecountrylife.com.
As we ask ourselves who will be farming in the future, there is an emerging funding model that could help people get into agriculture. The slow money movement matches local food and artisanal products with investors. This also has the potential to unlock environmental and cultural benefits. Priyanka Jayashankar is an adjunct assistant professor of management at Iowa State University. She is also the lead author of a study on slow money and says it takes its inspiration from the slow food movement by keeping investments local.
It enables capital to stay closer to local farms and helps recirculate capital at a local level in such a way that money goes back to the soil and helps revitalize local agriculture.
As an example, let's say an investor wants to focus on family-run farms. This investor has the backing of philanthropic organizations, family-run foundations, and so on, and they network with a group of family-run farms.
First, it'll start off as a leasing transaction, and eventually the land that they farm has to become organically certified. And typically, I think it may take about 2 years or so. With the social investors' intervention, family-run farms can gain access to farmland. They start off on a leasing basis, but they eventually become owners of that farmland.
Investors embrace what she calls a triple bottom line, which means investment is driven as much by environmental and social benefits as it is profit. This model usually has a slower return on investment, about 7 years. But as long as there's a niche for local food, Jayashankar says the potential is there for consistent growth moving forward. Learn more about the slow money concept at livingthecountrylife.com. I'll see you in the country.
Living the country life. Ideas and inspiration for your place in the country. You can find more information on today's topic, share your tips, and post photos by visiting us online.
Green Diamond Resource Company has been on the landscape for over 120 years here in Mason County, growing and nurturing our working forests. These forests provide the best of all worlds: clean air and water, protection for fish and wildlife, areas for hunting, fishing, and other recreation, all while growing essential wood products from lumber to paper to renewable energy. At Green Diamond, stewardship is one of our core values and our business. We're proud of our role in keeping Mason County and Washington green.
This is Hugh Hewitt. The next CNN Republican debate is coming up. I'll be on the panel along with moderator Wolf Blitzer, CNN's Dana Bash, as the GOP candidates square off in a make or break evening for several of them. You'll hear exclusive live Salem Radio Network coverage of the Republican debate in Las Vegas right here on this station.
Live coverage of the next GOP presidential debate Tuesday at 2 on AM 1030, FM 103.3, and online at KMAS.com.
At Lucky Eagle Casino and Hotel, we like to say we always have room in our hearts.
And that's certainly true right now during our Gift of Giving hotel special.
Bring in a non-perishable food item or toy for charity and stay in a standard room for just $69 per night.
The offer is good Mondays through Fridays in December, so plan a winter getaway with us.
Lucky Eagle Casino and Hotel, I-5 to exit 88, Rochester, Washington, where you belong. Reservations required. Details at luckyeagle.com.
Hi, this is Jackie McAlevey from Splash, and you're listening to Daybreak with Jeff and Dale on KMAS News Radio.
6:51 here at KMAS, KMAS.com. Good morning to you. We'll find out the early morning business news from CNBC in just about 7 minutes. Seahawks looking good yesterday.
Seahawks were looking good, specifically Russell Wilson playing at historic levels right now, and we'll break that down in the sports after the 7 o'clock news this morning.
Sounds good.
Yeah, unbelievable.
Got a big week if you are a Trekkie. No, I'm just kidding. Not a Trekkie.
War guy. Star Wars.
A Warzer. I don't know what they're... Oh, a Wookiee fan.
A Wookiee fan.
Star Wars is coming out this week. So, if you haven't noticed, there's a new Star Wars movie.
When's the preview is tonight in Hollywood?
Hollywood, big premiere. They're shutting down all of Hollywood Boulevard.
Just to attend this one.
I don't know. Well, I mean, all the regulars, R2-D2 will be there, and C-3PO, and Chewbacca, and Han and the gang, and all the new people, and it'll be interesting to see if Mark Hamill shows up.
I saw him in a trailer.
Good.
He was flying a jet.
I'm sure he was.
Or whatever this was.
I'm sure it wasn't a preview. You weren't just time hopping back to 77.
No, it was him. He said something. He was like, look out, or they got us, or something.
He says, he looks right at the camera and goes, Dale, you and me.
All the way, baby.
You were the only one to see that.
Mark Hamill and I, we got something.
We got to get a new chair here. This is the third time this morning.
Sink it down.
Synced. No, it's going to be a huge one. Hey, you may be onto something. No, there's a big, so they're going to shut down Hollywood Boulevard, 4 blocks of Hollywood Boulevard. This is even grander in scale than what they use, same location, for the Oscars.
Yeah.
Yeah. They're going to put up this
probably
huge
be a
big
bigger
tent.
turnout than the Oscars get.
They're going to show the premiere on 3 screens, presumably all at the same time, and then everybody's going to come outside and under the tents. They're going to have a huge party for the premiere. There are viewings all over the place. Shelton Cinemas. Just talked with Terry yesterday. He says they think there's about half the tickets left for a Thursday night showing. So before Friday, Shelton Cinemas, you can get tickets now. So that's kind of cool.
What time is the Thursday deal?
I'll check. I want to say it's like 6 or something. It was not out of the realm of possibility of perhaps me going to see it just because. But at the same time, you're with so many other fans of the franchise that I want to hear what's going on. You know,
there's a lot of reaction.
You know, people next to me doing. I just want to hear. That's why you go to a comedy first weekend, really funny, and you don't ever hear half the lines because everybody's laughing.
Yeah,
that could just be me more of me not wanting to be. Oh yeah,
and be
as
rowdy?
Soon as you see. No, that's not Star Wars. Whatever the Star Wars music is. That was the Lone Ranger.
I think that was the Lone Ranger.
I was moving into the Lone Ranger.
It was at a high octave, too. Are you wearing tight underwear this morning, or what's it? Grabbing the high notes, folks.
Well, whatever the music is, and they show the logo, and people are just going to cheer the whole time.
Well, I don't want to go to that one then.
Pretty cool.
It's Star Wars tonight. If you're special, and
if you're down in Hollywood.
But this Friday is the official.
Right.
Here we go. Star Wars World.
Mm-hmm.
And you had made a comment last week to me, if I remember, the first Star Wars with all the ballyhoo and all the fast food restaurants and the cups and the goodies and everything. And they've always been promoting these kinds of movies over the years, and they've gotten better at it and more, persistent about it. But you came up with a real good thought here just a few moments ago. The fact that Disney is now invested into the Star Wars franchise.
Yes.
And so now.
And they have no shame.
You have Star Wars pancake makers putting out Star Wars pancakes with lightsaber utensils on what kind of a plate?
On top of the Millennium Falcon plate.
Well, there you go.
I mean, that's the...
Doesn't get any better than that.
And then if you look...
Now, those are things I'm going to get my grandkids, I think, my grandsons for that. I like that.
I'm not saying that it's not a cool toy or a cool device. It just seems like there is so much.
Is that a pancake maker, or what is that?
Yeah, it looks like a George Foreman almost, but it's a pancake maker that will make the pancakes look like the Death Star. Sitting on top of Millennium Falcon, and the person's using lightsaber knife and fork. The other one I saw that and I don't know when too much is too much, but this could be it. Limited edition Star Wars Coffee Mate.
Creamers for your coffee.
The R2-D2 is in French vanilla, and C-3PO, who has a golden hue to him, is hazelnut.
Yes, as it should be.
That is amazing. So mascara, special Empire Red mascara.
Yeah, special mascara.
Lightsaber green. There's just a lot of merch.
Pretty amazing. It's a lot of reach in marketing. Oh, my word.
This could be kind of...
We're going to live in a Star Wars world here for the next month.
This could be kind of sexist here.
Okay.
But I don't know, and I don't remember girls being so involved in Star Wars. Do you? I mean, all the commercials now have boys and girls playing, and they're playing with the toys.
You got a point. I don't think the girls have been that much
into it. Is that another Disney thing?
Probably.
I'm not saying, it's awesome.
Yeah.
But I just didn't see that like with Return of the Jedi.
You're listening to Daybreak with Jeff and Dale on KMAS News Radio.
I'm Chris Mauer, CNBC Business Radio. Stocks are lower as oil tries to hold above $35 per barrel. Earlier this morning, it fell below that mark for the first time since the recession. Sharpie and Parker pen maker Newell Rubbermaid announcing it's buying Jarden for more than $13 billion in cash and stock. Jarden produces products like Sunbeam kitchen appliances and Coleman outdoor gear. The merge would create a consumer goods company worth $16 billion. Royal Dutch Shell will be slashing 2,800 jobs after it combines with BG Group next year. AstraZeneca confirming it's in talks with privately held drug developer Acerta Pharma. Acerta has operations in the Netherlands and California. And today is the busiest mailing day of the year for the U.S. Post Office. It estimates more than 15.5 billion pieces of mail will be sent this Christmas season.
Meet Vince. Vince hurt himself mountain biking on Saturday.
Because weekend warrior.
Because noob.
Hey.
Vince is supposed to host an important presentation, but he's not going anywhere in that cast. What should he do?
Rhetorical question.
Vince should try GoToMeeting, the simple way to host meetings online, complete with video conferencing and screen sharing. Send out a meeting link and anyone can join from any computer, tablet, or smartphone. Just takes a click.
Where do I sign up?
Visit GoToMeeting.com to start your free 30-day trial. That's GoToMeeting.com.
There are no guarantees in love, but there is a guarantee from EH Plus by eHarmony, our new personal matchmaking service. At EH Plus, your own personal matchmaker gets to know you so well, we can guarantee introductions that will be satisfying and exciting. EH Plus goes far beyond regular online dating sites, and that's a guarantee. Visit us at ehplus.com/love or call 1-855-9.
Heading out of town? Listen to KMAS Shelton wherever you have a cell signal. Check out our website customized for your smartphone and listen online at KMAS.com.
Here's the latest from ABC News. I'm Joan Bennett. More record highs could be reached in the east today, with temps in many places in the low 70s. A few cherry blossoms are in bloom in D.C. Allergies are back for a second round in the Midwest. In the West, winter's already here, says Ashton Robinson-Cook with the National Weather Service.
Western Kansas down through the Oklahoma, Texas panhandles, really heavy wet snow in some of those areas. And then also along the Sierras in Southern California.
Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell of Kentucky has criticized the climate agreement world negotiators struck over the weekend in Paris, saying it could be shredded in a year under a Republican president. More from ABC's Lana Zak at the Capitol.
For the first time in history, nearly every nation on Earth has signed on to a commitment to lower greenhouse gas emissions. Previous climate change pacts have exempted developing nations like China, but besieged by thick punishing smog and public outcry over unsafe pollution levels, Beijing has signed on. Back at home, President Obama faces a battle with the Republican-controlled Congress, which seems unlikely to support the agreement. But since it is an agreement and not a treaty, the president may not need congressional approval. Lana Zak, ABC News, the Capitol.
President Obama at the Pentagon for a meeting on the campaign against ISIS. As we learn, major government lapses opened the door for one of those San Bernardino killers to enter the country. ABC News Chief Investigative Correspondent Brian Ross with more.
Now ABC News has learned that a secret U.S. policy prevented immigration investigators last year from looking for Tashfeen Malik's extensive social media messages that the FBI says included talk of jihad and martyrdom.
First Lady Michelle Obama will visit the Children's National Health System in Washington today to visit patients and thank staff for their work. This is ABC News.
House full of guests, errands to run, no pocket space, holiday blues.
Ditch those holiday blues with the 35 Days of Plenty. You can win weekly prizes like a Bahamas cruise or the grand prize, a Ford Explorer. All from Plenty, the rewards program you can join for free. Enter for your chance to win at holidays.plenty.com. That's Plenty with an I. No purchase necessary. Must be a Plenty member. Ends 12/28. US 18 and older.
Cricket Wireless is here to make your holidays even brighter. Ready, flip the switch! Get a $100 bill credit when you switch to the Marrier carrier before January 7th. Plus, get the Samsung Galaxy Grand Prime for $29.99. Whoa! Santa's definitely going to know where your house is this year. Cricket Wireless, something to smile about.
Offers end 1/7/16. Offers require not reported and activation on qualified plan and same transaction. First month service charge due at sale. Bill credit requires 2 service payments within 45 days. Credit received within 60 days. Device purchase not required to receive credit. Basic funds excluded. Fees, other charges, and restrictions apply. See store for offer details.
What to get that special someone who already has everything? A trip to New York City's Morbid Anatomy Museum holiday flea market may be in order. says ABC's Richard Cantu.
Gifts both frightful and festive on display at the Bizarre Bazaar. About a dozen vendors displayed their horrific wares, a wide array of animal skulls, earrings made from muskrat jaws, two-headed stuffed birds complete with Santa hats. Stephen Rabinowitz racked his brain before deciding on a raccoon skull. The flea markets have proven so popular, the museum had to move them out of the basement to a larger space around the corner. Museum co-founder Joanna Ebenstein says, people like me don't want to buy normal Christmas stuff. Richard Cantu, ABC News.
Actor Ed Norton says he was moved to tears by the story of a Syrian refugee who lost his wife and daughter in an attack on their home, inspiring Norton to host a fundraiser that raised more than $380,000 for the man's medical bills and to resettle his two surviving kids. Joan Bennett, ABC News.
Local news is brought to you by Fred Holmes Tree Service. FredHolmesTreeService.com, 427-4489.
You're listening to KMAS News Radio. I'm Mary Lynn Foster. Shelton School District Superintendent Dr. Alex Apostle stopped by Daybreak with a reminder about next month's Graduation Matters ceremony.
Our Graduation Matters Shelton launch is January 14th from 5:30 to 6:25 p.m. at the Civic Center. It should be a lot of fun. We're inviting a lot of people, and I'm hoping the parents and students and staff make themselves available to attend because it's going to be a great night.
Dr. Apostle also shared the agenda for the next open forum, which is this evening.
It's an open agenda, and I would encourage the community to attend and ask any questions or make comments that they feel need to be made.
Anything about the school district?
Anything. Yeah, it's an open agenda, and we try to do that as often as possible. We're combining November and December for the open forum this time around, but after the first of the year, we'll be having one every single month.
The forum tonight is from 7 to 8 p.m. at Mountain View Elementary. The Washington Public Utility Districts Association presented its annual awards, recognizing the outstanding dedicated service and commitment of individuals serving PUD-3s at the organization's annual conference. Two servicemen from Mason PUD number 3 were presented the Good Samaritan Award, recognizing their action in response to an injured motorist on August 5th. The two servicemen were returning from a project when they noticed the scene of a traffic accident outside Shelton. The accident victim had been honking her horn, hoping passing motorists would stop and help. The PUD employees pulled over, called 911, and stayed by the accident victim's side until the ambulance arrived. The Mason PUD 3 Good Samaritans are Mel Ferrier and Kevin Phillips. The Port of Allen will begin construction of a second wedding and event pavilion next month at its underused kayak park on Highway 3, just south of its Allen Waterfront Park. The gazebo at Waterfront Park is an extremely popular venue for weddings and other events, and has been booked solid both days of every weekend beginning in May through early October for the past several years. Future plans call for constructing a covered shelter to accommodate small receptions as well as other events. The stage for the final GOP debate of 2015 has been set for tomorrow night. The first and primetime debates hosted by CNN will air live on KMAS. The first debate will have 4 candidates: Mike Huckabee, Rick Santorum, Lindsey Graham, and George Pataki. The primetime debate, set for 3 p.m., features the other 9 candidates, including GOP frontrunners Donald Trump, Ted Cruz, Marco Rubio, and Ben Carson. Listen to our live broadcast on air or online. We'll also be airing the Democratic debate that's set for Saturday, December 19th. I'm Mary Lynn Foster, your local news at AM 1030 and FM 103.3, and always on KMAS.com.
Tune in all season long to NFL Insider on Westwood One. Hi, this is Mark Malone. Join me each week as we whip around the league and break down the NFL. We'll hear from today's stars and yesterday's heroes as James Lofton sits down with a fellow member of the Hall of Fame. We'll also check in with former greats Rod Woodson and Donovan McNabb to help us break down all the latest NFL news. That's NFL Insider right here.
Sunday morning at 6:30 on KMAS.
You know Gillis Auto Center in Shelton for the best deals, best price, best trade, and low payments. Well, it doesn't end there. The Gillis Auto Center Service Department is now open Saturdays from 8 to 4:30. We just want to make it as easy as possible for you to get service. After all, that's the life of your vehicle. From oil changes on all makes and models to a full line of service, you can count on Gillis, your Ford, Chrysler, Jeep, Dodge, and Ram truck dealer. Family-owned Gillis Auto Center in Shelton at the City Center Matlock exit and 24/7 at GillisAutoCenter.com.
One NFL star returns, and another may be done for the year. Hello, everyone. Dave Packer reporting on sports. Big night for the New England Patriots Sunday featured the return of tight end Rob Gronkowski and a dominating 27-6 victory. Gronk, who had missed the previous 2 games with a knee injury, made his presence felt.
Brady under center from the 1. Taps the center Stewart. Brady takes the snap. Short drop. A lob. A fade for Gronkowski left side. He comes down with it. Touchdown Patriots.
Bob Sochi on the call for WBZ 98.5. Gronkowski had 4 catches for 87 yards and that touchdown Sunday. With the win, the 11-2 Patriots clinched a playoff berth. Johnny Manziel led the Cleveland Browns to a victory in his return to the starting quarterback role. The Jacksonville Jaguars crushed the Indianapolis Colts 51-16. Carolina continued their undefeated season with a 38-0 shutout of the Atlanta Falcons. And the Green Bay Packers beat the Dallas Cowboys 28-7. Another playoff-bound team didn't have quite the same luck. The Cincinnati Bengals may have lost quarterback Andy Dalton for the season. ESPN reports Dalton's fractured thumb could keep him out at least until the playoffs. Second-year QB A.J. McCarron took over for him. Afterward, McCarron vowed to work hard to lead the Bengals in Dalton's absence.
I will work my tail off this week. Finally, being able to get some reps and being able to run the offense all week. And, I will do whatever I need to do to not let them down.
In NBA action Sunday, Miami held off the Memphis Grizzlies 98-97. The Oklahoma City Thunder and Phoenix Suns both won Sunday, while the Philadelphia 76ers lost again in Toronto to fall to 1-24. On the ice, Patrick Kane registered a point for the 26th consecutive game. His Chicago Blackhawks won 4-0. The New York Islanders won by the same score, while the Colorado Avalanche defeated the St. Louis Blues 3-1. Dave Packer, ABC Sports.
For News Radio 1030 KMAS Shelton, FM 1033, and online, audio, and video, KMAS.com. I'm Dale Hubbard, 10 past 7, and a good Monday to the 12s this morning. They're celebrating, they're high-fiving, they're knocking each other around and loving every minute of it. Well, everybody except Thomas Rawls.
Yeah, tough.
Fractured ankle, torn ligaments, is out for the rest of the year. And we'll see when Marshawn Lynch returns, but we'll need Marshawn now more than ever. There was speculation about whether he'd just be a backup to Thomas Rawls because he's got abdominal surgery that he's healing up from. So he's been doing some rehab. He's at the facility and not quite ready to suit up yet, but nevertheless, standing in the wings and doing all it takes to get ready for helping in our playoff push. Now, the Seahawks this morning are the number 5 seed in the NFC if the season were to end today, which would bode well for Seattle. And they want to hold on to that 5 slot as long as they possibly can, all the way up until when the playoffs begin. So every game very crucial at this point. There's only 3 left in the regular season. Our next opponent is the Johnny Manziel-led Cleveland Browns after winning their 3rd game of the season this yesterday. So Johnny Football showed all the fans why they love him so. And
drinks for everybody.
There'll be.
Is that why?
Yeah, he was buying rounds for everybody.
Man, I did awesome.
Everybody, me too. Don't forget me. I want one. All right. So Johnny Football and the Cleveland Browns in Seattle this coming Sunday. Normal 1 o'clock kickoff, 1:25, whatever the daily Bob is. And we'll begin our coverage at 11 on Sunday morning. Now, at this point, it's pretty clear Cam Newton's going to win his first MVP award. 13-0, 44% chance of finishing the regular season undefeated.
Wow.
He's only gotten hotter as the season progressed. And then Tom Brady, Patriots slipped a little in recent weeks before yesterday, and their big win over the Houston Texans. It would take a dramatic collapse for Cam Newton to give away the MVP race. All right. Newton's been downright brilliant. Very well may have the best signal caller in football over the course of the whole season, but he's certainly not the best quarterback in the league right now. That title belongs to the king of the Pacific Northwest, Danger Russ Wilson. Seattle star quarterback just put up what could very well be considered the best 4-game stretch in modern NFL history. He was phenomenal again in the blowout over the Ravens, who only managed to hold him to 5 touchdown passes because tight end Luke Wilson dropped what would have been Wilson's 6th, standing all alone in the end zone. Did you see that play? It was amazing. So the only guy on the left side of the end zone was Wilson, Luke Wilson, the tall kid. And there's the ball, and it's on his hands, and
oh, darn, missed it.
Nobody was tackling him, nothing.
Just missed it.
Just dropped. He had a couple of drops yesterday. Receivers did. Wilson was phenomenal. He could be considered maybe the best 4-game stretch in history. Let's just put it in perspective a little bit here. His 97.2 quarterback rating is 1/10 of 1 point behind Newton for the best figure of the day, included 11 more pass attempts, and also 4th week in a row, Wilson posted a QBR of 90 or more, the first time anybody has done that all season. Now, even that undersells what Russell's accomplishing. Since losing to the Cardinals in Week 10, his numbers surreal. So here we go. Over that 4-game stretch, 89 for 118, 89 passes complete, 1,171 passing yards, 75.4% completion percentage, averaging 9.9 yards per pass attempt, so 10 yards per pass attempt. And even more impressively, he's throwing 16 touchdowns, no interceptions. Adds up to a passer rating of 145.9. ProFootballReference.com has game logs for quarterbacks going back through the 1960 season, 10 years before the merger of the AFL and the NFL. Do you know how many quarterbacks have thrown 100 or more attempts over a 4-game stretch and posted a better passer rating than that in that span than Wilson?
3.
0. 0. It's never happened before.
They were really going off on passer ratings on the TV broadcast yesterday.
Yeah. It's a kind of a hard thing for us as lay people to, what they take into consideration for all that to get the rating.
Why wouldn't they have the rating stop at 100? To be like 100%, to be like awesome. You know what I'm saying? 131.5.
I know.
It doesn't help, as you mentioned, the layman.
Yeah. But that's why they can't do it. It can't rest at 100. They had to, for whatever reason, a perfect passer rating is some bizarre number like 74.3 or something like that. So anyway, that's just the way it is.
Well, whatever.
Anyway, congratulations to the Seahawks. They're on, they're steamrolling, and they're only one other team that I can think of right now that's playing hotter football, and that's the Kansas City Chiefs. They've won 7 in a row.
Wow.
They're doing bizarro good too. So, going to be fun. The playoffs are going to be fun, very intense. Pittsburgh. Since Seattle beat them in that high-scoring affair, Pittsburgh is now considered one of the teams that nobody wants to see in the playoffs. Very similar to the year that they won the Super Bowl. They were a wild card team that year, and rumbled through the playoffs and into football history. So, it's going to be pretty exciting. We are far from the end of this football season. That is for sure. Jeff, 36, my little phone said, in Pittsburgh.
Wow.
Right
Yeah?
What do you say?
I say that's probably about right. And a good morning to you here currently at Sanderson Field, 32. We're going to have a pretty decent day today and tomorrow. No real rain in the forecast. That all kind of shows up Wednesday for 3/4 of an inch of rain and an inch of rain and more into the weekend. Good morning at 7:17 and
it's Daybreak with Jeff and Dale on KMAS News Radio. Join the guys as they talk with neighbors, newsmakers, and each other, getting your day off to the absolute best possible start in the history of mornings. Connect with Jeff and Dale through the KMAS listener line by email or Facebook. Now, from somewhere in the wilderness of the Olympic Peninsula, Daybreak with Jeff and Dale.
All right, good morning to you. It is Daybreak here, KMAS, KMAS.com. 7:18 on a Monday morning. It's Daybreak with Jeff and Dale. KMAS.
One good note, the Dallas Cowboys are assured of a losing season after getting blown out last night.
Who is their quarterback? Castle? Matt Castle?
Mm-hmm.
Boy, he got knocked. I saw one hit from Clay Matthews.
So
Woof.
this is the scary part. Those teams that are playing with their second quarterback, that guy goes down, then they're really scrambling.
Yeah.
And you're down to the third tier, which even if it's a professional team, gets a little sketchy.
Yeah, that's
when you get down to third string. So
normally look that deep in the old player charts. All right, 7:18 here at KMAS, KMAS.com. We had a story this morning about Seattle may soon be the first city to let drivers of ride-hailing companies such as Uber and Lyft collectively bargain over pay and working conditions. Voted today by the Seattle City Council. They is opposed by the companies, but seen as a test case for the changing 21st century workforce. So like the taxi cab companies, Yellow Cab, and those folks are upset with these fancy upstarts, Uber and Lyft. San Francisco-based Uber and others say federal labor law prevents cities from regulating collective bargaining for independent contractors. The ordinance would violate federal antitrust laws. Well, we'll see what happens. So then how do you work it if would then the Uber driver that picks up a fare in the city be part of this? Or if someone that lives in Lakewood are not part of it? You know what I'm saying here?
Yeah.
There's a lot of movement in and out of Seattle with taxis and stuff.
Yeah, out of Seattle.
I don't know.
You're listening to Daybreak with Jeff and Dale on KMAS News Radio.
With warmest thoughts, Peninsula Credit Union sends best wishes for a holiday season filled with happiness. It's the hope of Peninsula Credit Union that the hope and peace of this season will be with you always.
South Sound Physical and Hand Therapy would like to wish you and your family a wonderful holiday season. May you experience peace, joy, and good health during the holidays. Warm season's greetings and Happy New Year from everyone at South Sound Physical and Hand Therapy.
Washington Health Plan Finder has extended its open enrollment through January 31st, 2016. You can still register yourself or a family for a health plan, and Mason General Hospital can help you get set up. Simply go online and visit masongeneral.com and click on the Washington Health Plan Finder on the homepage. Browse the various plans available, and when you find the one you want, let Mason General make sure you're qualified and help you sign up. Find the plan and call Susanna Lopez, Project Supervisor, at 432-7766. Washington Health Plan Finder. Open enrollment through January 31st, 2016.
Mason General Hospital and family of clinics. Equal opportunity provider. Translation services provided.
Mason General and family of clinics.
Start your mornings live and local with Daybreak on KMAS Shelton. Join Jeff and Dale weekdays from 6 to 9 on AM 1030 or FM 1033.
Hi, this is Rick Riz from the Seattle Mariners, and you're listening to Daybreak with Jeff and Dale on News Radio 1030 KMAS and FM 104.1.
All right, good morning to you. Daybreak here, KMAS, KMAS.com on a Monday morning. We appreciate you tuning in on the radio or watching online at KMAS.com. Right there on the main page, you'll see the link, Daybreak Live. And join us in studio, why don't you?
Why not indeed? Hey, the founder of a Richland pet rescue organization says she's going to resign because there are more pets being euthanized at the facility than necessary, and because it's no longer fully volunteer operated. The Tri-City Herald reported Molly Van Dorn, who founded Pet Overpopulation Prevention, says the organization's funds are no longer going exclusively to rescuing pets, but also to pay for an accounting firm, administrative staff, and an attorney. That'll chew it up pretty quick. And so that is bad news, tough news there out of the Tri-Cities area this morning.
Mill Creek police say someone fired shots while officers were investigating an alarm. The alarm early yesterday triggered a response from the officers. They were on the scene. Authorities say officers heard a vehicle approach slowly. Someone began firing. King reports that police are unsure whether the shooters were specifically targeting the officers or where is Mill Creek? Is that south of Seattle?
No, it's north. North. Mill Creek's up towards Everett.
Oh. I saw 3 shooting stars on my walk this morning.
Well, the sky was, wow. We talked about Star Wars last hour.
Mm-hmm.
One of my final conscious thoughts last night, gazing out the window, the stars were twinkling and just spaced at a certain way, and then there were some planes I could see traveling as well. And I was thinking, wow, looks like the Star Wars are lining up.
Oh yeah, something's going on.
And then, but I think part of that thought process, I woke up and then went back to sleep. Part of that process was the first trailers for the new Independence Day movie coming out this summer.
I saw that. What
is this? Well, looks a lot bigger than the other one. Remember how big that aircraft, that one craft was that came out over the Earth?
Oh, I like that.
This one's bigger.
That was a preview.
That was the preview.
Jeff Goldblum back.
Jeff Goldblum's back. I didn't see Will Smith.
No, he's not in it.
That's too bad.
So I did see, what did they say? So he goes, Judd
Hirsch's dad,
was Goldblum's dad.
Yeah.
And then Bill
Nye?
Pullman or Paxton?
Paxton, I think.
One of those
I'm not
guys.
sure.
They look the same. They have the same name, Bill P. Anyways, he's back. He's got a big bushy beard.
Yeah.
They're in Area 51. And they play one of the best speeches on movies. I love that speech that he does at the end of the first movie.
Yeah. So they're playing that speech during the trailer.
Yeah. And then it kind of shuts off at the end.
Yeah. Because this is bigger and badder. They came back. We knew 20 years I was worried that they'd come back. That's how it opens.
I did see that. That was impressive.
Yeah. So just in time for everybody's thinking about Star Wars. By the time that calms down, just in time for the 4th of July, here comes Independence Day.
Here's another one. Just everybody's going to be Star Wars-y this week, so just kind of get used to it. When Disney bought Lucasfilm in 2012,
all right.
Lucasfilm came with Star Wars property and Indiana Jones property, and all these other ones. So they bought it. Disney bought Lucasfilm in 2012, and everybody says, "Oh my gosh, this is a lot of money." $4 billion is what they paid.
That was a lot of money.
It was a lot, but they are expecting, I think, at least ticket sales just to be $1 billion. So there's a quarter of it.
Oh man.
$2 billion in merch and associated video games and toys and Christmas.
Sure.
So there's $3 billion. So there's 75% of your purchase
back in one movie.
In one movie. And they're going to release a Star Wars movie every year until nobody goes to see them anymore. And that was just Star Wars. Lucasfilm, again, as I just said, Indiana Jones series.
There'll never be a time when they'll run out of people that'll go to see these.
No.
There'll always be an audience. Time they get 20 years down the road, everybody's going to want to see the first ones again.
Yeah.
Wow.
$4 billion, large chunk of change. But more than likely, analyst John Robbins thinks Disney will make half that back on this movie alone.
Wow. Crazy.
That is amazing.
It is an amazing statistic. And that is a lot of money. Oh, by the way. Tomorrow night.
Yes, sir.
Women of Note performing a holiday concert at Shelton High School's Performing Arts Center. And you are invited to attend. Starts at 7.
Free concerts.
Free concerts. Another one the next night on Wednesday evening, the Oakland Bay Junior High and the Shelton High School Band's holiday concert. Let's see if we can't talk them into performing at halftime during our broadcast.
Come on over.
Come on over.
7 o'clock also on the 17th, the Mountain View Elementary will have their school holiday concert. Yeah. Dale and I will be at the Mini Dome Wednesday night and Friday night this week, bringing you live coverage. Boy, that was fun on Friday night.
Start getting into that high school popcorn that they serve there.
Was that good?
Oh, sure.
Oh, man. Check out the concession stands.
Yes. And I'm lining up Greg and Dwayne
Yeah.
To stop in and visit with us for the Midwinter Bluegrass from the Forest on the 26th, the day after Christmas.
Mm-hmm.
An evening performance, 3 hours of great bluegrass music, and 2 of the performers that are coming to the Midwinter Bluegrass in the Forest Festival concert were nominated for Grammy Awards.
Really?
Yeah. They're not going to be, let me check that.
Okay.
2 of them that were nominated for Grammy Awards are going to perform this spring in the big Bluegrass.
Oh, wow. Grammy Award winners coming to town.
Yeah. So a post from Greg Linder on Facebook this weekend. I spied that, and I remembered to say something about it.
Good. Facebook.com/1030 KMAS, where you can like us, follow us along, get the latest news on your news feed on the Facebook. Mary Lynn Foster has the news on the radio here in just about a minute.
Yep.
After that, we'll continue on throughout the morning, talk about some things that happened on the day in history, some birthday notes to pass along to you.
Lots of birthdays today.
It's always fun to kind of chat about, bring up some things. And
Brian LaFlame in a little after 8 o'clock to talk real estate resources for us. Easy for me to say. And Lynn Longan, of course, from our Economic Development Council, EDC, in at 8:40 this morning as well. So lots still to go. GOP debate tomorrow beginning at 2, going all the way until 9 in the evening. 4 on the first group.
Yeah.
9 on the second group. That sucks. I'm sorry.
It does.
It sucks. It's 4 and 5.
I still am a fan of drawing straws
13
and half,
7 and 6.
regardless of where you are in the polls. Half.
Yeah.
Draw the short straw. They get the lowered half. Draw the long straw, and just mix it up a little bit.
You're listening to Daybreak with Jeff and Dale on KMAS News Radio.
Local news is brought to you by Shelton Health and Rehabilitation Center. Find them online at sheltonhealthandrehab.com.
You're listening to KMAS News Radio. I'm Mary Lynn Foster. Shelton School District Superintendent Dr. Alex Apostle stopped by Daybreak with a reminder about next month's Graduation Matters ceremony.
Our Graduation Matters Shelton launch is January 14th from 5:30 to 6:25 p.m. at the Civic Center. It should be a lot of fun. We're inviting a lot of people, and I'm hoping the parents and students and staff make themselves available to attend because it's going to be a great night.
Dr. Apostle also shared the agenda for the next open forum, which is this evening.
It's an open agenda, and I would encourage the community to attend and ask any questions or make comments that they feel need to be made.
Anything about the school district?
Anything. Yeah, it's an open agenda, and we try to do that as often as possible. We're combining November and December for the open forum this time around, but after the first of the year, we'll be having one every single month.
The forum tonight is from 7 to 8 p.m. at Mountain View Elementary. The Washington Public Utility Districts Association presented its annual awards, recognizing the outstanding dedicated service and commitment of individuals serving PUD-3s at the organization's annual conference. 2 servicemen from Mason PUD number 3 were presented the Good Samaritan Award, recognizing their action in response to an injured motorist on August 5th. The 2 servicemen were returning from a project when they noticed the scene of a traffic accident outside Shelton. The accident victim had been honking her horn, hoping passing motorists would stop and help. The PUD employees pulled over, called 911, and stayed by the accident victim's side until the ambulance arrived. The Mason PUD 3 Good Samaritans are Mel Ferrier and Kevin Phillips. The Port of Allen will begin construction of a second wedding and event pavilion next month at its underused kayak park on Highway 3, just south of its Allen Waterfront Park. The gazebo at Waterfront Park is an extremely popular venue for weddings and other events, and has been booked solid both days of every weekend beginning in May through early October for the past several years. Future plans call for constructing a covered shelter to accommodate small receptions as well as other events. The stage for the final GOP debate of 2015 has been set for tomorrow night. The first and primetime debates hosted by CNN will air live on KMAS. The first debate will have 4 candidates: Mike Huckabee, Rick Santorum, Lindsey Graham, and George Pataki. The primetime debate, set for 3 p.m., features the other 9 candidates, including GOP frontrunners Donald Trump, Ted Cruz, Marco Rubio, and Ben Carson. Listen to our live broadcast on air or online. We'll also be airing the Democratic debate that's set for Saturday, December 19th. I'm Marilyn Foster, your local news at AM 1030 and FM 103.3, and always on KMAS.com.
I'm attorney Harold Carr. During the past 25 years, more than 8,000 people have trusted me to handle their personal injury cases. I understand how an injury can disrupt your life and cause financial hardship for you and your family. At the law firm of Harold Carr, we have 5 attorneys and 19 staff members experienced with negotiating and litigating with insurance companies. So if you feel the insurance company is not dealing with you fairly, call me, Harold Carr. Let us deal with the insurance company so you won't have to.
Car accident? Call Carr or visit us online at haroldcarrattorney.com.
Hi, this is CNN's Dana Bash, inviting you to join Hugh Hewitt and my CNN colleague and moderator, Wolf Blitzer, as we bring you exclusive live network radio coverage of the next Republican presidential debate direct from the Venetian Hotel in Las Vegas. Don't miss it, right here on the Salem Radio Network.
Live coverage of the next GOP presidential debate Tuesday at 2 on AM 1030, FM 103.3, and online at KMAS.com.
Where do I begin to tell? For Newsradio 1030 KMAS Shelton, FM 103.3, and streaming audio and video this morning on KMAS.com. Good morning and welcome to a Monday morning, 7:34. He's missing 3 of his best weapons, but since Seattle started blocking for Russell Wilson, he's been simply dominant, and he's dominating in a way many didn't believe was possible. He, MVP or not, Russell Wilson, the hottest quarterback on the planet right now. Well, at least we think so. Latest power rankings heading into week 15. Let's see if Seattle is bubbled up from the number 8 position. Let's see. Cam Newton and the Carolina Panthers are the number 1 team in the power rankings. The Seahawks, Russell Wilson finished his 4th straight game above 70 yards, 70% passing completions, and Brock Osweiler hit a wall over the weekend and did not look good at all. Peyton Manning looked like he was ready to go. And by the way, the Broncos lost their 3rd game of the year. First loss for the Bronx since Osweiler took over for Peyton Manning. Just some of the things to look through here as we begin. Is tonight the beginning of, no, it's the end of week 13, and then next week so there you go. Lots of stuff going on there. Now, for us, our own sports notes, we've got, for a little closer to home, the Giants and the Dolphins played this afternoon at 4:45 on the radio, 5 o'clock kick. And then this Wednesday and Friday on KMAS.com, live video coverage of the Shelton basketball teams. Boys against Mount Tahoma on Wednesday night, girls versus the Central Kitsap team on Friday. So join us online, KMAS.com, on Facebook, 1030 KMAS, right? Facebook/1030 KMAS. And check out our stream of all that. And you've got the PIP performance during halftime on Friday night. What's that? You don't know. I don't know. We'll all learn together. And by the way, a note too, the Ole Town Artesians back in action over the past weekend, losing a close one to the Skyhawks of Snohomish, 4-2. 80 shots, though. Exciting.
Yeah.
Indoor soccer. A lot of fun. It's kind of a combination of soccer and basketball and soccer. No, wait a minute. It's a combination of hockey and basketball, only it's soccer. And it's fast moving. And it's always going. Fast. And your public address announcer this Saturday night for the hometown opener for the Ole Town Artesians. Ladies and gentlemen, Guy Smiley. There he is.
That's right. I'll do that.
And it's Saturday night at the Pavilion at Evergreen State College, and it says here, Jeff, dress warm.
Yeah, it's supposed to be
a little chilly
frigid.
there.
I don't think there's technically walls at the Pavilion. We'll find out together this Saturday.
Technically, there's no walls? Oh, no. So a good gust of wind. And
it's either in the pavilion or maybe in the longhouse.
Bend it like Beckham, baby.
Maybe in the longhouse at Evergreen. I don't know. We'll find it. It's going to be a lot of fun. That's going to be a lot of fun.
What's the weather for Saturday night, actually?
Well, looks like we have a chance of no snow until next Tuesday, a week from tomorrow. 34 right now with some light rain. That should die off. It'll be mostly cloudy just throughout the day, 43 tomorrow with clouds. Wednesday, 3/4 of an inch of rain. Inch on Thursday, 1/4 inch coming up on Friday. It's 34 right now. Good morning to you.
It's Daybreak with Jeff and Dale on KMAS News Radio. Join the guys as they talk with neighbors, newsmakers, and each other, getting your day off to the absolute best possible start in the history of mornings. Connect with Jeff and Dale through the KMAS listener line, by email or Facebook. Now, from the capital of the great state of Washington, Daybreak with Jeff and Dale.
All right, good morning to you. It's Daybreak here, KMAS, KMAS.com on a Monday morning, 7:39. Hope you had a wonderful weekend. Got to relax again, another early game time yesterday. And so not only do you get a lot of stuff done in the afternoon, but when it's 34-6 in the third quarter, even more work can be done.
Well, you're supposed to stay and watch if you're a really fan, anyway.
Or, I mean, if you're confident
but
enough.
Half the people did go. And I'll tell you what, everybody in Baltimore left.
Most everybody, except for all the 12s.
Yeah.
There was a ton of, heard the Seahawks chants.
Yeah, Seahawks.
Pretty amazing.
Yeah, they travel well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, fun.
So, but you're right. It was all over after the end of the third quarter. Seattle put it, as they do. They have a really good adjustment at halftime. They always come out and play a really good third quarter. Started the third quarter, second half of the game with a touchdown drive. And that pretty much sealed the deal for Baltimore, who had been within 8 points of all of their victors.
Yeah, I heard that.
During the season, and this was the first time they really got blown out at home. So props to Seattle. Their defense is playing well. Special teams is doing well. And the offense is phenomenal right now. Going to change a little because we don't have Thomas Rawls or Marshawn Lynch as running backs. Not to detract from who we do have, but they're stars because of what they do.
Mm-hmm.
And they're maybe just a little bit different to block for than the other fellas. We'll get it all straightened out and sorted out for you by the time this next weekend rolls around. It's a home game against the Cleveland Browns, and Johnny Manziel, Johnny Football, coming to Seattle this weekend. How exciting. The bars can hardly wait.
Yeah, lock up your liquor cabinets. Dale, last night for dinner I made meatballs.
Yeah.
I got this was just
now,
for
did you do a spaghetti meatball thing or just meatballs standalone, meatball gravy?
Spaghetti and meatballs.
Okay.
I made 20 meatballs.
Oh my word.
So about
wow.
3 inches.
So you've got meatballs still.
Half a pound of ground beef, pound of Italian sausage.
Ooh.
Mix those together with some panko breadcrumbs.
Some pound and a half of meat right there.
2 pounds of meat.
Yeah.
Pound of beef, pound of sausage.
All right.
2 pounds. Anyways, mix it all together. Now, here's what I did. Cut up some string cheese, put it in the freezer.
Okay.
And then put the string cheese bits in the meatballs. So it was melted, gooey mozzarella inside the meatballs.
Oh, man. Nice touch.
Thanks. They were delicious. Anyways, I bring it up. Sausage.
Locale? Never mind.
Maybe locale. Sausage is pretty locale.
No.
I bring it up because Jimmy Dean is in the charts today.
Jimmy Dean, first song to, I don't remember what it was, but it was something. Jimmy Dean was number one in all the land.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to guess the year. I saw this earlier this morning. 1960?
61.
Okay. And Big Bad John.
Big Bad John.
Oh, man.
First country song to get an official gold record from the RIA, the Recording Industry of America.
Wow.
Jimmy Dean, and it is that Jimmy Dean from the Sausage.
That is the same guy. Yeah, absolutely. All you see is his boots now.
Yeah. The Sausage
Jimmy
King
Dean,
of Chicago.
He went into the sausage business with the money he made from the recording business. And he hosted a variety show. Very talented guy. Very pleasant personality. Was a cool guy. Jimmy Dean was a cool dude. Liked him. George Washington never made any sausage, but he made a pretty mean moonshine.
Sure.
And grew a little hemp on the side, by the way.
He did a little bit of the things you can't do these days.
He passed on the state in 1799, our father of our country, first president of the United States of America, at the age of 67.
You watch that Moonshiners show on Discovery?
On occasion.
I like it.
Yeah.
And they make a pretty compelling case for making it.
Yeah. Yeah. And except for that it's so danged powerful, it's really not that bad for you. I mean, it's alcohol. But there's no...
No, I mean, the way they make it...
It's pure alcohol.
They got the fresh, pure streams from the Appalachians.
Oh, man.
I mean, it's been generation after... And they always talk about this. They go, so why is it that you can, like, grow chickens and sell eggs? Why is it that you can grow and sell all these things at farm, but you can't make moonshine? And you're right, George Washington made it.
Thomas Jefferson made it.
They all made it.
Yeah.
In
those days, you make your own, or you had to go to your neighbor to get some or something.
Yeah,
you
make your own. Because you know that I'm a huge fan of DIY. Anything that I can buy, I will hold off to see if I can make it first.
Right. So you could actually make alcohol for your friends and your family if you want.
So you just can't sell it?
Right, correct.
Oh.
So wine, beer, spirits, it's all there for you, Jeff.
I thought, I don't want to get in. I don't want to do that. That's just would put me down a road that, I wouldn't even maybe show up one day.
Yeah, we don't want you. We don't want you there.
Soviet Union dumped by the League of Nations in 1939.
What? Aw, poor Soviets.
Huh. That's interesting because then they helped many of that same league defeat the Nazis.
Yeah.
W.W. Deuce.
Yeah.
Why would they get kicked out? Probably starting the fears of communism, spread of communism.
So what, 1939, was that?
It was
Karl Marx?
I don't know. I don't
Lenin?
know that time.
I can't remember which one was which.
Maybe it's Lenin.
I know that Patty Duke's birthday is today.
Oh, yeah. She was on TV.
She was the inspiration for the Dukes of Hazzard. A lot of people didn't know that. Patty Duke, 69 today. I said there was a lot of birthdays, and I lied.
Nostradamus would have had his birthday.
Nostradamus, born on this date in 1503. Yikes. He predicted the Great Fire in London in 1666, though, and Hitler's rise to power in Germany, and the Civil War, and his own death on July 2nd.
You're listening to Daybreak with Jeff and Dale on KMAS News Radio.
Are you tired of commuting to a job that makes someone else rich, working harder than ever, but getting nowhere? Do you hate spending hundreds of dollars every week on daycare, having someone else raise your children? With our opportunities, you can start earning money as soon as next week. You get to be the boss, work from home, and live a happier life. At Be the Boss Network, you'll find hundreds of work-from-home opportunities that you can literally start today and be earning money as soon as next week. Go to freedom31.com and start earning money as you get to be the boss. Get out of the rat race. Work from home. Go to freedom31.com right now and change your life today. That's freedom, the number 31.com. Go to freedom31.com and start earning money as soon as next week. You be the boss. Go to freedom31.com.
This is the sound of crispy bacon. This is the sound of pepper bacon. And this is the sound of Canadian bacon. And this is the sound of Papa Murphy's Bacon, Bacon, Bacon Pizza. You know why you don't hear anything? It was delicious. Bring home a large Papa Murphy's signature Bacon, Bacon, Bacon Pizza, topped with crispy, pepper, and Canadian bacon. Just $12. Try it as a fresh pan for just $1 more. Fresh made, fresh baked, fresh craving. Papa Murphy's. Love at 425 degrees.
Good morning, this is Chief Deputy Ryan Sperling, and you're listening to Daybreak with Jeff and Dale on KMAS.
All right, well, we got the smartest listeners in all the land, thanks to Mark at the Model T.
Yes.
Cannot make spirits.
Illegal.
You can make beer and wine at your home, but you can't make spirits.
Octane.
What a joke.
Yeah. Add into that stink.
These double standards are why everybody's so down on government and all that junk. Just makes me upset.
It's okay. You all right?
I'm fine.
Okay.
We were talking about Nostradamus during the break. He's got those quatrains that talks about these things. However, I saw a show just the other day. They're trying to read ahead, I suppose. If you follow with me here, they're trying to read his predictions and somehow put some sort of present day spin on them. Now, if you were to read the quatrains is what they were, they're little poems or whatnot, you wouldn't know that he writes this thing and it's exactly the 1666 Great Fire in London. It's some very wordy,
vague.
Yeah, it's very vague. But you can go back and go, oh,
well,
okay.
You must have been talking about London.
That makes sense. Or the Civil War in Spain, it's like two great cultures fighting against each other in one nation. So that would be a civil war. But so I'm saying it's hard to accurately predict the future by reading all of his stuff that he's written. I'm not saying you can't do it, but there's so much going on in the world. You can't go, oh, well, this is exactly means ISIS, or this exactly means an election.
Right. But it could be interpreted as such.
You could interpret it, but it would be, everybody would go, oh, yeah, well, it could be interpreted this way, and this way, and this way.
Detractors.
The Nostradamus detractors.
Yeah. And they're out there.
Plenty.
By the bucketfuls. Countdown to Star Wars. We mentioned earlier this morning as the whole world is going, well, our country is going crazy.
I think it's everywhere.
And tonight, the special holiday Hollywood preview. Should be a holiday, though, shouldn't it?
It may be
Star
tomorrow.
Wars is being released. Everybody take the day off. Huh? The Force Awakens, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
And so everybody's getting in on the act. Everybody's got comments about their first time they saw Star Wars, their first Star Wars event, first Star Wars thing, and all that. I guess when you step back and you look at it, is a pretty big phenomenon that's going to be happening this week. Opens officially to the public on the 18th.
Yep.
Friday.
Friday. Thursday night, though, at 7.
Yeah.
You can get tickets to see Star Wars at the Shelton Cinemas. They're doing an early showtime Thursday at 7. Talked with Terry Allen yesterday. He feels that there's still about half tickets available.
Really?
So you can go see that early. Thursday night at 7. Mike and Molly's been canceled.
This just in. Really?
Rondi Reed, who I guess is on that show, says the upcoming 6th season, Melissa McCarthy and Bill Gardell, is going to be the last.
Oh, the next season will be the last.
Yeah, the upcoming season. They noted the number of episodes, too, cut from 22 to 13.
Oh.
We are done taping as of January 27 of next year. Not exactly when or if the episodes will even air. The network has its reasons, and not going to get into that kind of stuff, but Mike and Molly coming to an end.
Well, part of this equation has to be her success, in motion pictures.
Yeah.
And now I see, is a game show host.
Billy Gardell?
Yeah.
Is this the guy? If I see
big.
Yeah. I think he also just opened a restaurant with his brothers.
Oh, did he? Well, I know that he hosts a game show, and I just saw that for the first time this weekend. Can't remember what it is even called now.
I saw that, yeah. I saw him like on the Chew or some weird show.
And he didn't look like he was engaged with it all. Kind of like he was mailing it in.
Well, he's got a lot of other stuff to deal with, like Mike and Molly.
Yeah, and then going into business with your brother would probably send you through the roof.
Yeah, he does have a restaurant, I think, an Italian restaurant. He's a Steelers fan. I think it's in Pittsburgh.
The Steel Wall or something.
I can't say I've ever watched a Mike and Molly.
Oh, really? Oh, that's all right.
Not much? Not missing much?
Not missing too much. You can watch them in syndication. Hunger Games, Mockingjay Part 2.
Yes.
Tops at the box office this weekend. Probably their last stop at the top.
Don't get used to it.
Because next week at this time, guess what will be number 1?
It's going to be number 1. Star Wars will be 1 through 10.
Heart of the Sea. In the Heart of the Sea. Kind of isn't that the Moby Dick?
Mm-hmm.
And Opie directed that.
Opie directed that, and the main...
And it looks good. Intense.
Is the guy who's going to be in Independence Day.
Yeah, Ron Howard, Chris Hemsworth.
Yeah.
This is the guy you were thinking of, maybe.
It was.
Was it? Okay.
The Good Dinosaur is the newest animated movie for the kids out there at 10.5. Creed.
Did well.
Everybody still says Creed is a great movie.
Well, it's done well, given the competition it's been up against. And, say what you will, old Sly Stallone still packing them.
Able to do it.
Krampus.
Halloween, Christmas horror movie, Krampus.
Okay, Spectre is the James Bond, right?
Yep.
Still in the top 10. The Night Before, is that a Christmas Christmas movie?
Yes, that's the one with Seth Rogen.
Okay, right. And then rounding out your top 10 is the Peanuts movie, still in the top 10. Spotlight and Brooklyn. I don't know anything about either of those last two, Spotlight or Brooklyn.
No, must be new releases.
But they both got a couple of $1 million, which ain't bad for the neighborhood they were playing in.
Saturday was a big day for Prince fans. He released another album. Surprise announcement. 3 months he released Hit and Run Phase 1. Prince surprised fans Saturday with another musical installment. 12 more songs. Hit and Run Phase 2. Let's see. Prince announced the album, which took 4 years to create.
Oh.
Featuring a 16-piece horn section. He got on Twitter and says, hey, there's a new album out. That's amazing. Folks love it, love it, love it. Who
yes.
Love it?
All right, here is the official story on the trailer for the Independence Day sequel. It did premiere yesterday, the trailer did, and it's called Independence Day Resurgence. 20 years since the events of the original. Liam Hemsworth, returns. Jeff Goldblum, Judd Hirsch, Bill Pullman, and Vivica A. Fox. Will Smith.
Wait, Vivica A. Fox is in it?
Yeah.
Wasn't that Will Smith's girlfriend in the movie?
Yeah, but Will's not there. Does not have a starring role in this one.
Or
now, that's
does
funny.
he?
Now, see, Will Smith does not have a starring role in this one.
Starring role?
Doesn't say that he's not in it.
It does not say that he's not in it.
So that's a little opening right there.
Now this is all we're going to think about because we haven't seen Luke Skywalker in the Star Wars. Now everything is going to be, well, wait a minute.
Yeah, wait a minute, indeed.
Be the greatest movie secret since The Crying Game. Did you see that movie, The Crying Game? Remember that? Everybody was told, it was before the internet, so it was easier to keep a secret. Mid-90s, I think, is when that came out.
Yeah.
And everybody did very well with not spoiling the end of The Crying Game. I still never seen it, but I know how it ends. So I guess I was spoiled.
You did know how it ends before you saw it?
I do now.
You do now? I didn't see that, by the way. You can tell by the silence on my...
You didn't see that one?
No. Don't tell me.
I won't.
Okay. All right. And then if you were homebound and wanted to just check out DVDs, The Man from U.N.C.L.E. still a favorite. Vacation, Selfless, No Escape, Max, Jurassic World, Inside Out, American Ultra, San Andreas, and Southpaw, the top 10 DVD rentals.
That Inside Out movie's good.
Is it?
It's a Pixar.
Yeah.
So it's like a young girl who is forced to move to San Francisco, and she is coming of age, and the story is on her emotions.
Oh.
And they really have got it pinpointed on kids' emotions. It's a really good movie.
That would be really
Stephanie and I both enjoyed it.
All right, it's just about 8 o'clock, so the old farmer standing by, and then we'll jump into some news next here on Daybreak.
You're listening to Daybreak with Jeff and Dale on KMAS News Radio.
December's halcyon days are about to begin. We look at the science behind the old-time weather myth from the Old Farmer's Almanac.
Have you ever thought you'd like to flip houses but didn't know how or where to get the money? Are you ready to be your own boss so you can start living the good life? Hi, I'm Preston Neely. I used to be so broke. I had my electricity turned off 9 times, but I figured out a way to quit my job and find financial freedom in real estate. For a limited time, I want to send you a free copy of my smash hit selling book, How to Get Rich in Real Estate. It shows you how to copy exactly what I did so you can make money from the comfort of your own home without even doing any manual labor. I've already given away 5,000 books and they're going fast. To get one before they're gone, call 1-800-960-3494. Listen, if you're sick and tired of stressing about money, this book could change your life. It's short, fun to read, easy to understand, and awesome. To find out how to get your free book while supplies last, call 1-800-960-3494. Call 1-800-960-3494. 1-800-960-3494.
With more practical tips and useful advice, this is the Old Farmer's Almanac Radio Report for Monday, December 14th, the 348th day of the year. Actress Patty Duke celebrates a birthday, and World War II aviation hero James Doolittle was born on this day in 1896. Today marks the beginning of December's halcyon days, generally defined as the weeks before and after the winter solstice, when the weather in some years at least turns still and quiet. Your experience may vary, of course, but there is some science behind the legend. Once Arctic air masses win their battle for dominance over the warmer southern influences, many regions experience a period of relative calm. The lore originated in Greece with a seabird called the halcyon, which was said to have stilled the waters in order to tend to their nests. And that is the Old Farmer's Almanac Radio Report. Find more weather lore online at almanac.com.
CNBC Business Radio reports are on KMAS Shelton, Monday through Friday, 6:58, 1:33, and 4:33.
Here's the latest from ABC News. I'm Joan Bennett. What's the U.S. doing to fight the ISIS threat and keep Americans safe? President Obama will brief the public today after meeting with security experts at the Pentagon. White House Press Secretary Josh Earnest.
The president has tasked his team with constantly assessing the performance of different aspects of our strategy. And if there's an opportunity for us to intensify efforts behind one aspect of our strategy, then that's something that he wants his team to be prepared to do.
ABC News has learned that government lapses opened the door for San Bernardino killer Tashfeen Malik to enter the country. ABC News Chief Investigative Correspondent Brian Ross.
Former Homeland Security senior official John Cohen says immigration officials asked Homeland Security Secretary Jay Johnson for new policies last year to allow them to look at applicants' social media public posts, but were opposed by the department's Office of Civil Rights and Civil Liberties.
The primary concern was that it would be viewed negatively if it was disclosed publicly.
Malik received her fiancé visa last year in just 3 weeks, with no check done for whether she had any online messages in support of terrorism.
Callers indicating she thinks there's someone shooting in the building.
A sober anniversary this Monday in Newtown, Connecticut, where 26 students and teachers were killed at Sandy Hook Elementary School December 14th, 2012. Rallies being held across the country today, calling for more gun control. The world premiere of the new Star Wars movie is tonight in Hollywood. The Force Awakens opens in theaters nationwide on Friday. A 7th grader in Rosenberg, Texas, says school officials forced him to cover up his Star Wars t-shirt because it had a picture of a gun on it.
There are some shirts that make sense just because they are inappropriate, but some shirts that doesn't make sense if they banned them. Everybody knows that the movie's coming out and it's all a big thing.
This is ABC News.
The gift that keeps on giving is almost always just a metaphor. Open it once, gift over. But at TGI Fridays, we have the gift that actually does keep on giving. For just $10, get any Endless app, like one of 8 flavors of boneless wings, and we'll keep them coming over and over again. For a bit more, you can switch to another app. Loaded potato skins? Sure. Pan-seared pot stickers? Fine. You can even try them all. We don't care. We're just excited about giving and giving and then giving some more. Endless apps with endless choice are back at TGI Fridays. At participating restaurants for a limited time. While supplies last, other restrictions apply.
Cricket Wireless is here to make your holidays even brighter. Ready, flip the switch! Get a $100 bill credit when you switch to the Merrier carrier before January 7th. Plus, get the Samsung Galaxy Grand Prime for $29.99. Whoa! Santa's definitely going to know where your house is this year. Cricket Wireless. Something to smile about.
Offers M1716. Offers require number reported and activation on qualified plan and same transaction. First month service charge due at sale. Bill credit requires 2 service payments within 45 days. Credit received within 60 days. Device purchase not required to receive credit. Basic phones excluded. Fees, other charges, and restrictions apply. See store for offer details.
Wonder why some things never go on sale, even during the holiday shopping season? ABC's Daria Albinger asked an expert.
With just 10 shopping days left until Christmas and maybe fewer, depending on where you live, you might start to see a lot of markdowns in the stores. But some things on your gift list won't go on sale. Todd Marks from Consumer Report says, especially if it's something that's really popular this year.
Because of better inventory control on the part of retailers, you're not going to get those big clearance sales on those must-have items.
Marks also says classic items, staples, and signature items tend not to go on sale. So the sooner you buy them, the better. Daria Albinger, ABC News.
Owners of many small drones and model airplanes will have to register them with the government. The FAA announced the requirement today in response to increasing reports of drones flying near manned aircraft and airports. The requirement covers aircraft weighing from a half pound to 55 pounds. Joan Bennett, ABC News.
Local news is brought to you by Shelton Health and Rehabilitation Center. Find them online at sheltonhealthandrehab.com.
You're listening to KMAS News Radio. I'm Mary Lynn Foster. Shelton School District Superintendent Dr. Alex Apostle stopped by Daybreak with a reminder about next month's Graduation Matters ceremony.
Our Graduation Matters Shelton launch is January 14th from 5:30 to 6:25 p.m. at the Civic Center. It should be a lot of fun. We're inviting a lot of people, and I'm hoping the parents and students and staff make themselves available to attend because it's going to be a great night.
Dr. Apostle also shared the agenda for the next open forum, which is this evening.
It's an open agenda, and I would encourage the community to attend and ask any questions or make comments that they feel need to be made.
Anything about the school district?
Anything. Yeah, it's an open agenda, and we try to do that as often as possible. We're combining November and December for the open forum this time around, but after the first of the year, we'll be having one every single month.
The forum tonight is from 7 to 8 p.m. at Mountain View Elementary. The Washington Public Utility Districts Association presented its annual awards, recognizing the outstanding dedicated service and commitment of individuals serving PUD-3s at the organization's annual conference. 2 servicemen from Mason PUD number 3 were presented the Good Samaritan Award, recognizing their action in response to an injured motorist on August 5th. The 2 servicemen were returning from a project when they noticed the scene of a traffic accident outside Shelton. The accident victim had been honking her horn, hoping passing motorists would stop and help. The PUD employees pulled over, called 911, and stayed by the accident victim's side until the ambulance arrived. The Mason PUD 3 Good Samaritans are Mel Ferrier and Kevin Phillips. The Port of Allen will begin construction of a second wedding and event pavilion next month at its underused kayak park on Highway 3, just south of its Allen Waterfront Park. The gazebo at Waterfront Park is an extremely popular venue for weddings and other events, and has been booked solid both days of every weekend beginning in May through early October for the past several years. Future plans call for constructing a covered shelter to accommodate small receptions as well as other events. The stage for the final GOP debate of 2015 has been set for tomorrow night. The first and primetime debates hosted by CNN will air live on KMAS. The first debate will have 4 candidates: Mike Huckabee, Rick Santorum, Lindsey Graham, and George Pataki. The primetime debate, set for 3 p.m., features the other 9 candidates, including GOP frontrunners Donald Trump, Ted Cruz, Marco Rubio, and Ben Carson. Listen to our live broadcast on air or online. We'll also be airing the Democratic debate that's set for Saturday, December 19th. I'm Mary Lynn Foster, your local news at AM 1030 and FM 103.3, and always on KMAS.com.
The next Republican presidential debate promises to be an historic evening. This is CNN's Wolf Blitzer inviting you to join Hugh Hewitt, my CNN colleague Dana Bash, and me for exclusive radio coverage live from the Venetian Hotel in Las Vegas. We've saved the best seat for you as we bring you campaign history in the making on the Salem Radio Network.
Live coverage of the next GOP presidential debate Tuesday at 2 on AM 1030, FM 103.3, and online at KMAS.com.
Is your family doing some growing?
Whether it's an expansion of your home or the addition of a new family car, Peninsula Credit Union can provide fast, friendly service with terrific rates. We offer personal lines of credit, affordable auto loans, and a variety of home loan options to get you moving. Visit our offices in Shelton, Belfair, Paulsbo, Port Orchard, and Port Townsend, or go online to pcfcu.org. At Peninsula Credit Union, our priority is you.
One NFL star returns, and another may be done for the year. Hello, everyone. Dave Packer reporting on sports. Big night for the New England Patriots Sunday featured the return of tight end Rob Gronkowski and a dominating 27-6 victory. Gronk, who had missed the previous two games with a knee injury, made his presence felt.
Brady under center from the one. Taps the center Stewart. Brady takes the snap. Short drop. A lob. A fade for Gronkowski. Left side. He comes down with it. Touchdown, Patriots.
Bob Sochi on the call for WBZ 98.5. Gronkowski had 4 catches for 87 yards and that touchdown Sunday. With the win, the 11-2 Patriots clinched a playoff berth. Johnny Manziel led the Cleveland Browns to a victory in his return to the starting quarterback role. The Jacksonville Jaguars crushed the Indianapolis Colts 51-16. Carolina continued their undefeated season with a 38-0 shutout of the Atlanta Falcons. And the Green Bay Packers beat the Dallas Cowboys 28-7. Another playoff-bound team didn't have quite the same luck. The Cincinnati Bengals may have lost quarterback Andy Dalton for the season. ESPN reports Dalton's fractured thumb could keep him out at least until the playoffs. Second-year QB A.J. McCarron took over for him. Afterward, McCarron vowed to work hard to lead the Bengals in Dalton's absence.
I will work my tail off this week. Finally, being able to get some reps and being able to run the offense all week. And, I will do whatever I need to do to not let them down.
In NBA action Sunday, Miami held off the Memphis Grizzlies 98-97. The Oklahoma City Thunder and Phoenix Suns both won Sunday, while the Philadelphia 76ers lost again in Toronto to fall to 1-24. On the ice, Patrick Kane registered a point for the 26th consecutive game. His Chicago Blackhawks won 4-0. The New York Islanders won by the same score, while the Colorado Avalanche defeated the St. Louis Blues 3-1. Dave Packer, ABC Sports.
For News Radio 1030 KMAS Shelton, FM 103.3, and we are streaming audio and video this morning, KMAS.com. Good morning and welcome to a Monday, 10 past 8. I'm Dale Hubbard. Russell Wilson is maybe the hottest quarterback in the league right now. I know that's saying a lot. I know there's Cam Newton out there, and Tom Brady got back into the fold again yesterday. And what about this Jameis Winston? He lit him up there against Indy yesterday. 50 points. Whoa. It's crazy.
For the
Jacksonville?
Jacksonville?
Was that or Tampa Bay Buccaneers? Somebody who beat Indianapolis, and they creamed him 51-6 or something. Russell Wilson, 5 touchdown passes of his own. He has now passed for 16 touchdowns, no interceptions in the last 4 games. It's unprecedented, by the way. And he is making NFL history as he moseys along throughout the latter part of the season right now. Woo! Man. All right, yeah, the Baltimore Ravens are devastated by injuries, but hey, who isn't? We lost our top 2 running backs of the season. Now Thomas Rawls out with a fractured ankle, and even more concern now apparently for the torn ligaments that associated with the fractured ankle. So he is out for the season. That's going to hurt Seattle at some level. We'll have to wait and see. Meanwhile, the defense is lights out right now. Again, another shutout, no touchdowns scored against the defense, 2 games in a row there for that. And the final score, 35-6 yesterday, 23 completions on 32 attempts, 292 yards, and 5 TDs for Russell yesterday, and 3 of which go to Steady Doug Baldwin.
He's good.
He has been amazing. This is a career year for him as well. He had like 3 touchdown passes up until 3 games ago. Mm-hmm. And now he's gotten 3, 2, and 3. So he's got 8 touchdown passes in the last 3 games. Craziness, I tell you. Who's up next? Why, Johnny Football's coming to town. Happy hour starts right now. Johnny Manziel, the Cleveland Browns, they got their third win of the season yesterday. They're looking for win number 4 in Seattle. Good luck trying to find that in the town of the 12s, the town that the 12s built. But they can try. Come on into town, Cleveland. Let us welcome you with open arms. And Cam Chancellor. There you go. That's sports this time around. Jess Lakey's got the weather forecast.
34.
Brad LaFlame standing by. Don't keep him waiting.
No, we'll get to him right away for sure. Some light rain right now, off and on this morning. Should clear up by the afternoon. Tomorrow should be a dry day as well, though more rain coming up on Wednesday, about 3/4 of an inch on Wednesday, an inch likely on Thursday. 34 currently here. Good morning to you.
It's Daybreak with Jeff and Dale on KMAS News Radio. Join the guys as they talk with neighbors, newsmakers, and each other, getting your day off to the absolute best possible start in the history of mornings. Connect with Jeff and Dale through the KMAS listener line, by email or Facebook. Now from the shores of Hood Canal, Daybreak with Jeff and Dale.
All right, good morning to you. It is Daybreak here at KMAS and online, KMAS.com, 8:14, and coming to us live via Skype this morning from the LaFlame Group, Brian LaFlame. Good morning, sir.
Hello, fellas. How are you?
We are well.
Well, Brian, welcome to the show this morning.
Well, thank you. So you guys are talking about Doug Baldwin, and
yes.
I want to say a couple of things that are amazing about him.
Okay.
One, he is 4 catches away already from a career year. The most receptions he's ever had in a season are 66 last year.
Okay.
He has the same amount of touchdowns this year as he has from 2012 to 2014 combined.
Jeez.
Wow.
And he's never fumbled nor obviously lost. So he's never lost a fumble nor fumbled in his entire NFL career. Doug Baldwin has never fumbled the ball.
He is a definition of consistency, and
he is.
You know,
if
one
he
of the
fumbles
other
next week, I want this off the air.
Okay, all right. Well, one thing too I'll mention about Doug Baldwin is that he's fiery, competitive young man.
Yeah.
And he has, he could have went with another team that is more pass oriented than Seattle and had gotten many, many more touchdown passes and receptions and really been a premier receiver in this league. There's no doubt about his skill. But he chose to be a team member of a winning team. And, so he kept all that in check. And now he's getting his just desserts. And I think
heard
it's
a lot of things about him in the receiver room where he says, you know what, if we have to block every play, we block every play. We're just here to win.
Yeah.
You remember last week when the announcer was talking about Doug Baldwin saying that his cerebral cortex had developed, and that was like the change from angry Doug to Doug.
Yes.
And they were laughing about that, but I think we forget sometimes how young these people are. And it's right. He's like 25 years old. Yeah, his brain did just fully develop.
Yes, that's true.
And so he is still as amazing as he was, maturing into the man that he's still going to be. And that you can see the difference between just being angry and now just being incredibly focused and a team player.
Yeah.
So
I think, the metamorphosis is occurring with Russell Wilson as well.
Exactly.
Same
Yes.
thing. These guys are going to be scary good for the next few years. They really are.
I think he'll be okay. I mean, it's a good signing, I guess.
Yeah.
Well, keep those decision makers around.
I think I'll keep my 12 jerseys for a little while longer.
I love poking fun at my friends on Facebook who are all about Fire Bevel and Dump Sierra and Richard Sherman as a joke. I love that. I love it. I love knee-jerk reactions.
All right, that's good stuff. Really is good stuff. So on top of being this real estate mortgage guru guy, so you're a football fan first and foremost.
I am a baseball fan first and foremost, remember, but a sports fan a lot. And so I know a little bit, a thing or two about suffering sports fans, and the Seahawks do not make us suffer.
No, not in the slightest.
Not even a little bit.
Do house sales go up when the Seahawks are winning? I'm just wondering about it. Is there a
I
correlation?
don't know. I should track that, shouldn't I? I know my meetings go down during Seahawks games because my phone is off.
Sure.
Yeah. There's
more people
standards, right?
Moving into the city for jumping on the bandwagon and things like that.
Yeah.
There's a lot of real estate left on this bandwagon if anybody wants to play it.
Well, let's talk about real estate. Let's talk about Brian and what you do and what all that you do. Is this kind of the LaFlame Group? This is you, right? This is you in the public sector, your full-time gig, and you serve a lot of clients every year.
Yes, we serve hundreds of clients a year, and we are blessed to do so. We have the best staff in all of mortgage. We are I am very huge on the right fit within my team. I need somebody who's going to be able to evangelize my values and serve clients the way that I served them when it was just a one-man show. We do that same thing with the real estate agents with whom we partner. I meet with dozens of realtors every week, dozens of financial planners, lots of business people, and really always just trying to pick out the right fit for people that I think will serve our clients well and with whom we will be able to represent each other well.
So on average, and I know it's kind of real fluctuating because one person may buy multiple houses from you, but on a year-by-year basis or a year-over-year basis, what are the client numbers that you see?
So personally, for the LaFlame Group, we're at about normally between 130 and 180 clients a year. Last year, our purchase percentage was at 85%. So that's good and bad. We are so incredibly busy, and we wanted to make sure that we're serving the people that are purchasing homes incredibly well. So we didn't do a whole lot of refinance business. It's not a big pillar of my business. We serve our past clients for refinances, but we don't do a lot of cold calling or emailing or direct mail to try to get refinances in the door, because we want to make sure, again, that we have the right fit of people that we're working with and people that are purchasing homes, help our local economy, help our business partners, and it's just so incredibly fulfilling to be able to hand keys to somebody who is purchasing either their dream home or their first home or their retirement home, whatever it ends up being. It's an amazing feeling.
What role does the mortgage company, Brian, play in price negotiations and that sort of thing? Are you a conduit between, say, a real estate agent and a potential buyer or seller? Have you ever been in that position as well?
Yes, a lot of times. In fact, because we have such a great name in the local market, and because we help so many clients, we have a relationship either directly or indirectly with almost all of the business partners in the local area. So we'll know the agents that are selling the house, the listing agents, when the contract comes over and they feel comfortable to call us and go over kind of a 30,000-foot view of somebody's financing. So this weekend, actually, a few contracts are being negotiated. And a big deal is, hey, we put in this offer and they've countered, can the client accept this, or can the client afford this? And then two, does the client want to afford this? And so we've got to be really, we've got to be hands-on with all parties to make sure that, one, the client is getting a good deal. That's the realtor's job to negotiate a great deal on that house for them in great terms. And then it's our job to make sure that the client, one, can, and then two, is comfortable affording whatever counteroffer may come across.
Brian, I got a couple questions for you, but in general, these are questions that anybody should ask their realtor. So one, answer the question, please, and then explain why it's an important question to ask a realtor. Coming into, my target area, I want to buy a home in Shelton or in Olympia. Is it best served, and how many sales do you have, and a good understanding of those kind of neighborhoods? That's a proper question to ask, isn't it?
I think that's a great question. What is your experience in my local market? If you're trying to purchase a home in Shelton, and you have a realtor who you worked with in the past, or somebody who maybe works in Bellevue, they're probably not going to be you're not going to be best served by that person's knowledge of your local market. They can obviously get you in any home and help negotiate it, but they're not going to have really the understanding of what is necessary in that market to get the best deal for you. So one, how many sales have you had in my target market? But how often do you view homes in my market? I partner with a lot of realtors, and I'll see pictures of them viewing homes every single day in their market. They don't have clients yet for those homes, but they're going into every house that's for sale in their market, so that when a client calls in, they know, hey, this is what we talked about. It's important to you. I know it looks like this house is great, but the kitchen is actually really small in this house. Or, hey, that fourth bedroom is really just a converted den. It's not really going to work for what you guys need. So how well do you know my local market is probably one of the most important questions you can ask a prospective realtor when you're interviewing. Another one that, and I think we've talked about, buying a home is very expensive and quite an ordeal for everybody involved. And I want to talk to you a little bit about what happens. If I'm in the middle of a situation, fortunately, I had a great realtor that I worked with when we bought our first home. But if I were to find someone
we have our initial meeting, and the first meeting goes okay. Then the second meeting, it starts to get a little suspect. I'm starting to get a little sinking feeling in my stomach. What happens if you're unhappy with the service? How do you break it to the realtor that, you're maybe not my right fit? If I'm unhappy with the service, what can I do and things like that?
So that's a great question, because one, it gets into, I don't want to hurt this person's feelings, but this is the big deal to me.
Yeah.
Two, I know this is how this person makes their living. And so most realtors will have you sign what's called a buyer's agency agreement. So a buyer's agency agreement, although it's not binding, it's kind of a handshake agreement that says, hey, I'm working with you. You're working very hard for me. If I walk into an open house and I want to buy that house, I'm going to contact you first before I contact the agent holding the open house, because of all this work that you've done. Because realtors do a whole lot of work up front without any guarantee of compensation. And so if they're doing a great job for you, it's important to be loyal to them. If they're not, they've had that conversation before, and hopefully you're going to get one of two reactions. They're going to be offended and be upset with you, or they're going to take it as constructive criticism and get better from it. Whether that they help you or don't, if you're comfortable moving forward with them or not, is a different issue. But somebody who takes it as constructive criticism and improves is definitely somebody that I would want to give another chance to and try to work harder with.
Okay.
That's you'll sign a buyer's agency, probably. Not all realtors have you do that. If you don't, you can break up with that realtor at any time. If you do, it's a lot better to have a conversation with them and say, hey, I know that we've got this agreement. I don't feel comfortable that you're handling my best interest. Do you have somebody to whom you could refer me, or I'm going to move on and work with another realtor?
Now, will this work in the same sense of if I don't hear? Okay, so if I'm not hearing what I want to hear from a realtor, is it more often my misunderstanding of the market or their kind of
inability to communicate?
Yeah, I bring it up because yesterday, and I think we talked about this last week. Yesterday I was at the grocery store, and I started talking to the checker about Christmas lights.
Yeah.
Because I was buying some, and so she said that she's selling her house, and her realtor said, no Christmas lights, no holiday decorations, none at all. So I can see on both ways how this could be beneficial and how it could not be beneficial. But if you come into a loggerhead like that, how do you work through those types of things?
So the way that I would have that conversation with the person is I would get to what's important to them. How important is this holiday season to you? How important are the memories you're making? How old are your kids? What do you want to remember about this time? Is that more important than getting your house sold quickly? If you want Christmas lights up and you want decorations up, you just need to understand that that's probably going to push some buyers away because they're not going to be able to envision themselves in that house. It may also get some buyers in the holiday spirit and happy and kind of picturing themselves there during Christmas, and it may portend an offer that way. But really, you got to find out what's more important to you. Is it more important to wait a little while and then maybe we take your home off the market and we'll put it back on after the holidays? Or is it more important for you to get your house sold because you have a deadline coming up? And then depending on which way that the home seller goes, that's where the realtor is going to push them in negotiations and lead them in those negotiations. The seller is the one selling the house, and the realtor is your consultant. So their job is to consult with you on what's most important for you.
Okay. Yeah. Brian LaFlame from the LaFlame Group. We can get in contact you. You're in Lacey-Dale. What's the address?
Oh, it's 1110 College Street, southeast in Lacey, for you Lacey-ites out there.
Walk in, ask for Brian, and we'll be down.
Okay, the LaFlame Group, LaFlame, the LaFlameGroup.com, 253-863-4964. Brian, always a pleasure to chat with you on Mondays, and we'll look forward to seeing you again next Monday after another Seahawk victory.
And 6 more Doug Baldwin touchdowns.
Whoa.
I'm okay with that.
Is that a prediction?
That's a prediction. Well, come on, we're playing the Browns, guys. We're going to have the ball. That might be in the first half.
Oh, baby. Now you're talking. All right.
Thank you, Brian.
Thanks, Brian. Have a great week.
All right, guys. Talk to you later.
All right.
8:27 here at KMAS. We'll take a quick break, come back at the morning stock numbers, news from Marilyn Foster and Lynn Longan coming in as well just after the news on Daybreak with Jeff and Dale.
You're listening to Daybreak with Jeff and Dale on KMAS News Radio.
Welcome to McDonald's. May I take your order?
To begin, let me say I look forward to our brief encounter.
Me too.
The search for great value led me to you. When I mix and match, great value will be mine. And to that you say...
What would you like?
Yes!
Now, don't just get value at McDonald's, own it. Get 2 of your favorite tastes for just $5 on the new McPick 2 menu, like the sausage McMuffin with egg and a strawberry banana smoothie. Value is back at McDonald's. Own it. Prices and participation may vary. Price of single item posted on menu board. You answered all your emails by noon. Get a freshly prepared Egg McMuffin. Actually left work on time? Then get yourself a savory sausage McMuffin with egg. You saw the weirdest midnight movie. Well, get a delicious sausage burrito. With McDonald's all-day breakfast menu, you can get delectable breakfast tastes anytime. Egg McMuffin, hotcakes and sausage and more. It's time to start enjoying the breakfast you love whenever you want. Just listen to a radio commercial? Get some golden hash browns. McDonald's all-day breakfast menu varies by location.
All right, good morning to you. It's 8:29 here at KMAS. The local news is coming up in just a second, but right now we've got Karen Shade from Edward Jones on Olympic Highway South. Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. How are y'all?
We are great. How are you?
I'm
Rested?
doing very well. I am a little rested, yes.
Good. Sherry did a great job as usual.
I know. I felt so sad when I heard about the power outage.
Yeah, you guys did have a power. It was a little stormy last week.
You know, I guess it was a good week to go away.
Yeah, you missed a good one.
Oh, there we go.
Wow. I think we had 4 inches of rain one day up at the airport, Sanderson Field Airport. Poof.
So you may have run into some rain and stormy weather, but not like us.
No, I think I had one day, but it probably had about 3 inches in one day.
Oh, wow.
But warm rain, no?
Well, it was warm rain.
It was like being out in the shower.
Yes, that is true. That is true.
8:30 here on a Monday. What's up with Wall Street?
Well, U.S. stocks are lower to start the week as crude oil remains at its 2009 low and as credit markets continue to weaken in anticipation that the Fed may increase interest rates on Wednesday. In corporate news, Canada has announced plans to cut its 2016 annual dividend by roughly 79% and has issued 2016 guidance in line with expectations. Treasuries are declining this morning amid anticipation of raising rates. So far this morning, the S&P 500, the best performing sector is telecom, while the worst performing sector is basic materials. The Dow Jones Industrial Average is down 78 points at 17,186. The Standard & Poor's 500 Index is down 5 points at 2,006. The NASDAQ Composite Index is down 26 points at 4,906. This morning, volume on the New York Stock Exchange is high with about 275 million shares being traded, and decliners are outnumbering advancers by a roughly 3-to-1 margin. In the commodity markets, the spot price of gold is down $4.70 to $1,070.04. The spot price of silver is down 16 cents to $13.75, and crude oil prices are up 22 cents to $35.84. In the bond markets, the 30-year Treasury yield is currently 2.93%, and the 10-year Treasury yield is 2.19%. Stocks of local interest: Amazon is up $1.36, Costco is down 20 cents, Boeing is down $2.82, Starbucks is down 64 cents, and Microsoft is down 10 cents. This is Karen Shade of Edward Jones, member SIPC, serving individual investors with personalized attention and long-term financial advice. I'm located at 1051 Southeast State Route 3 in Shelton, and if you'd like additional information, you can contact me at 426-4590, and daily commentary is also located on our website at edwardjones.com. Happy Monday, everyone.
You're listening to Daybreak with Jeff and Dale on KMAS News Radio.
Local news is brought to you by Fred Holmes Tree Service. FredHolmesTreeService.com, 427-4489.
You're listening to KMAS News Radio. I'm Marilyn Foster. Shelton School District Superintendent Dr. Alex Apostle stopped by Daybreak with a reminder about next month's Graduation Matters ceremony.
Our Graduation Matters Shelton launch is January 14th from 5:30 to 6:25 p.m. at the Civic Center. It should be a lot of fun. We're inviting a lot of people, and I'm hoping the parents and students and staff make themselves available to attend because it's going to be a great night.
Dr. Apostle also shared the agenda for the next open forum, which is this evening.
It's an open agenda, and I would encourage the community to attend and ask any questions or make comments that they feel need to be made.
Anything about the school district?
Anything. Yeah, it's an open agenda, and we try to do that as often as possible. We're combining November and December for the open forum this time around, but after the first of the year, we'll be having one every single month.
The forum tonight is from 7 to 8 p.m. at Mountain View Elementary. The Washington Public Utility Districts Association presented its annual awards, recognizing the outstanding dedicated service and commitment of individuals serving PUD-3s at the organization's annual conference. 2 servicemen from Mason PUD number 3 were presented the Good Samaritan Award, recognizing their action in response to an injured motorist on August 5th. The 2 servicemen were returning from a project when they noticed the scene of a traffic accident outside Shelton. The accident victim had been honking her horn, hoping passing motorists would stop and help. The PUD employees pulled over, called 911, and stayed by the accident victim's side until the ambulance arrived. The Mason PUD 3 Good Samaritans are Mel Ferrier and Kevin Phillips. The Port of Allen will begin construction of a second wedding and event pavilion next month at its underused kayak park on Highway 3, just south of its Allen Waterfront Park. The gazebo at Waterfront Park is an extremely popular venue for weddings and other events, and has been booked solid both days of every weekend beginning in May through early October for the past several years. Future plans call for constructing a covered shelter to accommodate small receptions as well as other events. The stage for the final GOP debate of 2015 has been set for tomorrow night. The first and primetime debates hosted by CNN will air live on KMAS. The first debate will have 4 candidates: Mike Huckabee, Rick Santorum, Lindsey Graham, and George Pataki. The primetime debate, set for 3 p.m., features the other 9 candidates, including GOP frontrunners Donald Trump, Ted Cruz, Marco Rubio, and Ben Carson. Listen to our live broadcast on air or online. We'll also be airing the Democratic debate that's set for Saturday, December 19th. I'm Mary Lynn Foster, your local news at AM 1030 and FM 103.3, and always on KMAS.com.
Snow melts. Rain falls. Rivers form. This happens all over the world. But when it happens here, something wonderful unfolds. A renewable source of energy, created without releasing even an ounce of CO2 into the Earth's atmosphere.
Mason PUD 3. Clean, renewable, and reliable energy every day.
Hi, this is Alex Jones on KMAS News Radio. And I'm basically here exposing this. I told you about militarization of police 20 years ago. I told you about the plan for gun confiscation. I told you about the PDDs. Now we're far down the rat hole, and they're now want to do 10-state giant drills with plain clothes, doing, quote, suspicious things, and practicing taking over local government, practicing taking out civilians, and snatch and grabs. And of course it has dual applications for overseas. But the main mission is a PSYOP.
For News Radio 1030 KMAS Shelton, FM 103.3, and we are streaming audio and video this morning to all of our viewers out there in TV land at KMAS.com. I was looking at the time, which is, I don't even know what that time zone is. 11:32 p.m.
Yeah, no.
Okay.
That's something different.
Well, no wonder there's nobody watching then. Sunday night at 11 o'clock, 11:30 at night. That's okay. I stray from the topic.
Often.
Sports. 35-6, the final of the Baltimore Ravens. Rosy news, to be sure. Russell Wilson, 5 more touchdown passes. And his totals during his team's current 4-game winning streak, including 16 touchdown passes, 0 interceptions, a 292.8 passing yards per game, 9.9 yards per attempt, 4 straight games with a completion percentage above 70%. This is all off the charts. This is craziness. Sadness, of course, comes from Seattle's backfield that was already moving forward without running back and human pinball Marshawn Lynch for the foreseeable future, and his replacement, Thomas Rawls, suffers a broken ankle yesterday. His season's over. Rawls had piled up 460 yards over only his first 3 starts. Now, a traditional strength for Seattle has become a weakness until Lynch returns, with, they're calling them plotting veterans, Fred Jackson and DeJuan Harris taking over. And so Seattle will have some work to do, but, they're a run-first team. They just won't be running as much as they have been in the past, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
As long as that line, which is incredibly improved, my gosh, they were being blasted by yours truly and everybody first part of the season. I said that offensive line is horrible. Whatever the case is, they've switched Lewis as the center now. He's changed the whole culture.
Mm-hmm.
Unbelievable. So here we go. Come on into town, Cleveland. We're waiting for you. It's going to be all Browns all day long on the ground. Browns on the ground. Like that?
Mm-hmm.
Browns on the ground. That's Sunday. Between now and then, we got lots of sports for you here on the radio, as a matter of fact. Tonight, Monday Night Football. The New York Giants and the Miami Dolphins. Boy, that'll keep you on the edge of your seat.
Mm-hmm.
4:45, pregame 5 o'clock kickoff. And Jeff and I will be presenting some more high school basketball for your watching and listening enjoyment on KMAS.com. Starting this Wednesday night at 7 from the Mini Dome. It's Shelton High School High Climber boys, I think, taking on North Thurston. And on Friday night, we'll be back to the Mini Dome watching the girls take on their opponent. So that'll be starting this Friday. Girls will take on Central Kitsap on Friday night, and Mount Tahoma, the boys, on Wednesday night. So there you go. That's sports. Jeff's got the weather forecast.
Yeah, Southtown forecast is about 35 or so right now. Some light rain and off and on throughout the day. Otherwise,
kind of
cloudy.
chilly, though. 30s.
Yeah, it feels like 27. There's a good amount of wind, about 8 miles per hour. 43 tomorrow with no rain. 3/4 of an inch on Wednesday, about an inch on Thursday, and more into the weekend. And next week as well. Looks like we could see some rain, maybe a little snow in there as well next Tuesday, but that's a ways.
It's Daybreak with Jeff and Dale on KMAS News Radio. Join the guys as they talk with neighbors, newsmakers, and each other, getting your day off to the absolute best possible start in the history of mornings. Connect with Jeff and Dale through the KMAS listener line, by email, or Facebook. Now, from the Gateway to the Olympic Mountains, Daybreak with Jeff and Dale.
All right, good morning to you. It's Daybreak here, KMAS, KMAS.com. We are streaming live this morning on the YouTube, and right on the front page, KMAS.com, you'll see some great stories from over the weekend, and then right there, the Daybreak Live is the button you want to check out.
Oh, you do indeed.
See what's happening here in the show.
See what we're wearing today.
Yeah.
Seattle may soon become the first city in the country to let drivers of ride-hailing companies such as Uber and Lyft collectively bargain over pay and working conditions. This move is being voted on today by the Seattle City Council, is opposed by the companies, but seen as a test case for the changing 21st century workforce. San Francisco-based Uber and others say federal labor laws prevent cities from regulating collective bargaining for independent contractors, and the ordinance would violate federal antitrust laws.
Founder of a Richland pet rescue organization says she's resigning because now more pets are being euthanized at the facility than necessary, and because it no longer fully is volunteer operated. Tri-City Herald reports Molly Van Dorn founded Pet Overpopulation Prevention, says the organization's funds are no longer going exclusively to rescuing pets, now paying in addition to for an accounting firm, some administrative staff, and an attorney. And the accounting firm and the attorney, for sure, those can really suck up the dollars quickly.
Oh, anything can suck up dollars quickly. Here's a lawsuit. The Yakima, misspelled Yakima, by the way. Yeah. Yakima Nation seeking $65 million from Klickitat's PUD.
Huh.
Yeah. This is a wildfire a couple of years ago, burned almost 20,000 acres of tribal timberland. According to the report there in the newspaper, that the state says the utility is at fault because of its power lines that set the blaze. But PUD said loggers were responsible for the fire.
Oh.
So now you know what that means. Here comes time in court.
Yeah.
So now they're going to have to find out who is, in fact, at fault. Huh. One thing for sure is it wasn't apparently not a natural disaster. It was man-made, man-caused. So that's too bad. Too bad.
5 conservation groups planning to sue National Marine Fisheries Service, saying the federal agency failed to complete a recovery plan for the imperiled Puget Sound steelhead. Wild Fish Conservancy and others say the agency has not completed the plan despite listing the fish as federally threatened back in 2007. A National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration spokesman said last week the agency is reviewing said notice.
We had a story last week, Jeff, about a reinvestment of some more grant money coming to the region, specifically for salmon enhancement. Didn't we not? Friday? Was that Friday? Big story about lots of money coming in to several organizations and groups throughout Puget Sound, all for salmon enhancement purposes.
I think you're right.
Yeah, so hopefully everything's going the right direction with that. This is one thing. Here's one thing we don't want being messed with.
Right. Other stories on KMAS.com this morning.
Yes,
over the weekend was Pearl Harbor Remembrance Day. It was last week, actually, but Mason County Sheriff Casey Salisbury, along with several members of his staff, were invited to attend the opening ceremonies and memorial services of U.S. Army Special Forces during the 2015 Mentor Week held at JBLM. You can find that story on the local news tab at KMAS.com. It's 8:45 here now at Daybreak, and in studio with us,
stylishly tardy,
is Lynn Longden. Good morning, Lynn.
Hi, Lynn. How are you?
Good morning. I'm good.
Good to see you. And welcome to a Monday.
Thank you.
Whenever you started it.
I started it early.
Did you? Okay.
I did.
All right. Very good.
I just went to the office before I came here.
Lynn, last Thursday you were
this
down at
your first stop.
At the Great Wolf Lodge. How was that
was.
thing?
I thought it was really good. We had over 300 that registered and paid.
Wow.
We had 267 that actually showed up and checked in.
That's awesome.
Which is really good considering the weather.
Yeah.
Yes.
So, and then, an interesting story about my predecessor, Matt Matioshi.
Yes.
He was actually down in Portland on a family gig, and so he couldn't get through on I-5 because they closed I-5 northbound for that mudslide.
Yes. Yeah.
And then they blocked all of the alternates to locals only, and you had to show ID. So his wife ended up having to take him to the train station. He got on a train, so he came. You want to talk about stylishly late?
Oh my gosh! So,
I bet.
What a challenge!
He was like, he was a little embarrassed, but I told him, I says, "Wow, what a trooper! Planes, trains, and automobiles to get there.
To get
he
there,
showed up.
Yeah, I would have just
found
a phone.
Right?
Signals.
Sorry.
Anyways, stuck in Oregon. You know the roads.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah,
so what is the future? What's the vision for the next year in the region here?
I think that everywhere seems to be picking up.
Mm-hmm.
So the story and, what we were talking about on Mason County, of course, I was talking about the job losses and talking about the job losses we have coming up with Olympic panel also. At some point, but I did tell him, I said, what I don't want everyone to go away with is this doom and gloom picture, because that's not the way it is.
Right.
Even though we're having significant job losses right now, there's also a lot of hope and potential. And right now we have several companies, or a few companies that I know of for sure, that are showing up because of Sierra Pacific.
Yeah.
And they've got contracts. They're going to be working with Sierra Pacific, so they want to be close. And they're locating here. The port's working with an electrical company. Yes.
Yeah.
There's an electrical company that's moving here. I don't know that they've actually signed the final lease yet, but once they do, I'll be able to come back and talk about who they are and that. But that's about 30 jobs. And
oh, that's great.
There's a securities company in town. There's I think about 25 there. So we've got we've got some businesses that are locating for that.
Because of that.
Because of that.
Yeah. See, we wouldn't have that otherwise.
Right.
So that's good. That's very good positive news.
Right.
The other counties report, just a general overall consensus, everybody in pretty good spirits about the economy.
I think so. Everybody's pretty positive about, what's going on, how we're moving forward. There's some other crises happening in other counties, with Alcoa shutting down up they're in Douglas, Chelan County and Whatcom County.
Okay. All right.
And I'm actually getting phone calls from the different organizations in both of those counties because the Department of Commerce is sending them to me and saying, Mason County did it right. Go talk to Lynn.
Oh, wow.
So that's kind of exciting and nice, what a good compliment.
Yeah.
So just, get through these crises. It's not the end of the world. We'll get through them. And
there is an end to this.
Yeah,
and it'll turn a corner. And things will start growing again. So
right. We also did send that over.
This was what you passed out.
I did.
You didn't really pass out there.
We had it at the tables at the expo. It's just an update, a Mason County update. We did a consumer confidence survey.
Oh.
So Pack Mountain Workforce Development Council paid for it. St. Martin's College and some volunteers made phone calls to people in town. And they asked them questions like, how likely are you to buy a house? Or do you think it's a good idea? 53% said it's good time to buy a house right now. And it's a little interesting because 50% said it's a bad time to sell a house, which actually, after talking to some of the realtors in town, they go, it's not really.
Yeah.
It's actually a good time to sell a house because we don't have a lot of properties right now.
Yeah.
But this is really interesting that, the people think that it's a bad time. So, and 37% say they're going to buy major appliances. 31% said it's a good time to buy a new car.
Yeah. And when you combined good time to neutral, I have no emotion, you're well over 60% in both those categories.
Right.
Cars or major appliances.
Exactly.
Which bodes well for the auto dealers and the appliance manufacturers. So, that's really good. Interesting stuff.
I wasn't surprised by this one. 59% said that the labor conditions right now are bad. But again, they're going off of the Simpson layoffs and then the Olympic panel coming up. So that they're not really off. I mean, it's not the best times for labor conditions.
Right.
Let's see, what's another one? Family income in 6 months, 53% are neutral and 26% think that it's going to get better and that it's good.
Yeah, see, that's a good positive outlook. Yeah.
And the nice thing about this that I'm excited about, this is the first time we've done it in Mason County. Other counties, Grays Harbor and Thurston County, have done it every year. And so they have these nice comparisons. How are people feeling from year to year?
Yeah.
About it. So next year, we'll have some comparisons to this year. And
you'll project out 6 months, so you don't project out too long. And this is very insightful. I like this. It's a nice chart. Yeah, very well. And who did you say underwrote this for us? The
Pacific Mountain Workforce Development Council.
Yeah, okay. All right.
In fact, we're going to get Cheryl Fambles, the executive director, in to talk with us one of these Mondays.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Very cool. And you had your open house last week, right?
And we had our open house. We had about 30 people show up, which I thought was pretty good because it was the rainiest, windiest day of all.
It was pretty wet.
I was absent, but Jerry went.
Jerry showed up.
She got a little doggy bag for me. Who catered for you guys?
It was Wild and Woodsy.
Wild and Woodsy?
It wasn't that good.
Those beef medallions or whatever they were.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, those were
They were
good.
excellent.
Man. So thank you, whoever was thinking about Dale. that evening. I enjoyed those that night. That was very good.
Well, Jerry said she had to go home and cook you dinner or take you dinner or something.
Boo-hooing, right?
I'm like,
Yeah.
why? We have lots. So
Take it. Very cool.
Yeah.
Right.
Very cool. This is good news. Can people find this on the Mason EDC website?
It's not on there right now, but hopefully by the end of the day it will be.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
I also wanted to point out that we have reopened and extended the deadline on our business demographics request for proposal to do a business demographic study.
Yeah.
We only got one person that put in a RFP, so we've extended it to the first of the year.
Okay.
That you can get that on our website also.
Quickly, who are you looking for to respond to this?
Anybody that has the qualifications to do that. We want to do an in-depth study of what businesses are in the county, where are they. I know you can pull a lot of that off of state resources, but we want it to go deeper than that. We want someone who's actually going to make phone calls and follow up, not just with the ones that are in those databases, but because there's a lot that are going under the radar.
New businesses too all the time.
Right. Right. So we want something more extensive, and that'll help drive the comp plan.
Mm-hmm. Oh, you bet.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anything else we need to know between now and next Monday?
I don't think so.
Okay. When's the Toys for Tots?
We had it last Saturday.
Last Saturday.
Yeah.
And it went well?
It went well.
Okay.
Yeah. We had, I don't have any of the numbers yet, but we had over 100 people easy.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah. It was good.
Everybody helped.
Yes.
Getting toys for the kids.
Yes.
That's awesome.
Next Saturday will be the shopping day.
That's the day.
That'll be fun.
Stay away from Walmart.
That'll be fun.
I'll be there.
You'll be there.
I'll be there.
Put on your armor.
Yeah.
Awesome. Okay, Lynn Longan, thank you for stopping by this morning.
Thank you.
Being stylishly tardy was awesome.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you. Thank you for all you do. 8:53, a little break here, and we'll bid our adieus for a Monday. I can't believe we've blown through a whole morning already.
It's Daybreak with Jeff and Dale, little rain and 34.
You're listening to Daybreak with Jeff and Dale on KMAS News Radio.
Suncrest Storage hopes that you and your loved ones will enjoy the special gifts of the season. The gift of love, the gift of peace, the gift of happiness. Suncrest Storage hopes that this will be your best Christmas ever.
At this special time of year, a special message from your friends at L&E Bottling. May the miracle of Christmas bring thoughts of joy and peace. Happy holidays and best wishes for the new year from L&E Bottling.
Are you tired of commuting to a job that makes someone else rich, working harder than ever, but getting nowhere? Do you hate spending hundreds of dollars every week on daycare, having someone else raise your children? With our opportunities, you can start earning money as soon as next week. You get to be the boss, work from home, and live a happier life. At Be the Boss Network, you'll find hundreds of work-from-home opportunities that you can literally start today and be earning money as soon as next week. Go to freedom31.com and start earning money as soon as next week. You get to be the boss. Get out of the rat race. Work from home. Go to freedom31.com right now and change your life today. That's freedom31.com. Go to freedom31.com and start earning money as soon as next week. You be the boss. Go to freedom31.com.
Hi, I'm Jim Goodpaster, and I'm listening to KMAS Daybreak with Jeff and Dale.
All right, good morning to you. It's Daybreak here. Got about a minute and a half left in the show here this morning. Tomorrow, we've got the GOP debate for you starting at 2, going until 9. Now, I think they're going to do a little bit of a pre-analysis and then have the first 4 candidates on the dais. And
I'm
then
with you, Jeff. I like the idea. So there's 14, which is, again, a little bit ridiculous. 14 candidates. Nobody, sans Trump, has really jumped out and grabbed hold of anything. So why not, like you say, just split them down the middle and have them all share time. And doesn't matter how popular they are, because you're actually running against all of them right now. The lowest vote guy to the highest vote guy, right?
I mean, they're all still in the race.
Yeah.
Technically, anybody could win Iowa, right? So theoretically. If I was the bottom four, I would be lobbying for that. Hey, why don't we all mix it up a little bit? Let the electorate, who not all can listen to it on the radio, the first one, or will not be home in time to watch or listen to the prime time, let's all mix it up a little bit. Let's hear the different voices. Because you obviously can't have 13 people on the stage in a 2-hour day.
Or doing it all in one day, have it 2 days.
2 days would work as well.
Half of them on one day and half of them on the other.
Mess. But fun to listen to nonetheless.
It is fun to listen to, and we'll have it all for you tomorrow at 2, all the way until the bloody end at 9 o'clock.
That's right. And it could be. It's 9 o'clock. Tom Hartman's next here. Have a great rest of your day. Daybreak.
See you tomorrow.
You're listening to Daybreak with Jeff and Dale on KMAS News Radio.
December's halcyon days are about to begin. We look at the science behind the old-time weather myth from the Old Farmer's Almanac.
Have you ever thought you'd like to flip houses but didn't know how or where to get the money? Are you ready to be your own boss so you can start living the good life? Hi, I'm Preston Ely. I used to be so broke. I had my electricity turned off 9 times, but I figured out a way to quit my job and find financial freedom in real estate. For a limited time, I want to send you a free copy of my smash hit selling book, How to Get Rich in Real Estate. It shows you how to copy exactly what I did so you can make money from the comfort of your own home without even doing any manual labor. I've already given away 5,000 books and they're going fast. To get one before they're gone, call 1-800-960-3494. Listen, if you're sick and tired of stressing about money, this book could